Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Here we go on a Wednesday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter. He's in Guantanamo Bay. We got our man Mike Bennett with us. And, of course, our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. Michael, happy Wednesday, buddy. What's going on? Good to talk to you.
Happy Wednesday, Brandon. I'm ready to bring the juice at 6 a.m. for the Columbusonians. Have we decided what we call residents of Columbus?
Shark's been here a longer time.
Columbusites.
Columbusite. All right, that's fine.
Columbusonians, Columbites. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the term is. Is it Columbusite? Is that really?
I don't know.
Right? I feel like we should know that by now.
I feel like we should too. Yeah, we don't.
Let's decide. Shark decided.
I think Columbusite.
Columbusite?
Yes, that sounds pretty good to me. How you been, buddy? All right? You know you've had a busy last couple of weeks with your job, being an active lawyer, and then you actually just purchased a house a couple of weeks ago, so I'm sure that's been fun.
Yeah, it's been busy, and day one of the house, furnace goes down. So, it's been good, though. Like, I've been getting more used to the workload of being a lawyer. It's been fun to kind of get my schedule more packed. Getting a house is something I've been talking to you about trying to do for the last 4 or 5 years, so finally being able to get that done and have a place that I can call home, and especially in this great city, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, it's always fun. The problems that you encounter while making something happen that you've wanted to make happen for a long time. Like, I remember when we first moved into our house that we're living in, and again, like, the world was just shutting down. It was a crazy time. We didn't know if the movers were going to come, because that was like the week that the world was actually like ceasing to exist. Mm-hmm. And so anyways, the movers come, it's all good. We get settled into the house pretty quickly. You know, when you don't have anything to do or anywhere to go, you manage to unpack all your bags and get that situation figured out pretty rapidly. And I want to say it was 2 or 3 weeks in after we moved. I know it was in the month of March, and we moved it. Actually, it was in April. April showers bring May flowers. Yeah. And the month in, we just had a total flood of our basement.
I remember that.
Oh, no.
Welcome to homeownership.
Yeah, this is a terrible situation. At one point that day, I was just laying on the ground in our living room. No TV on, no video games going, no music, anything. Meredith walked in because she was teaching from home at the time. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm having a crisis."
Trying to keep it together.
I'm having a crisis, but I think we're going to be all good. So I'm glad you got everything figured out on that front. We got a great show lined up for you here this morning. Had a chance to actually track down Bob at Guantanamo Bay yesterday, so had an opportunity to talk to him. We'll play that for you coming up here at 6:30 this morning. Former NFL head coach is in town interviewing for a defensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator spot here at Ohio State. We'll get into that coming up at our next segment around 6:17 this morning. Sharky, good news for you. The Guards will be on TV. You got to pay for the stream. We'll get into that a little bit later. Coming up here 7:30 this morning, Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program, talk a little Ohio State defensive coordinator search with him, and also the Buckeye men's basketball team in action tonight. I know Steve will be over there for that. So we'll talk some Buckeyes with him at 7:30. And then a unique perspective. I actually reached out to this guy yesterday. He is Jeff Risdon of DraftWire and LionsWire, but with the person who's in town interviewing, used to be a former NFL head coach. Jeff Risdon has some unique perspective on him. So we'll check in with Jeff coming up here at 8:30 this morning. Before we hop into anything else, it is Wednesday. It's the 12th day of February, 2025. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Mark the Shark.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Sharky.
Good morning, gentlemen. Today is February 12th. When I was a kid, we used to get Lincoln's birthday on the 12th and Washington's birthday on the 22nd of February. But now
They changed those?
They just made it all one President's Day.
Okay.
So we get to honor all of them. But today is February the 12th, and back in 1809, Abraham Lincoln was born in Hodgenville, Kentucky, population 3,309. That's population now. I don't know what the population was when Abe was born 216 years ago today.
What number president was Abe Lincoln, Michael?
He's number 10.
No, that's John Tyler.
Good, Beam.
What?
Oh, my gosh.
I'm being set up? How do you just know?
Well, we've been doing this for a long time. Abe Blankenshire is which number president?
Number 16.
Number 16.
I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
I was close. Respectable effort, everybody.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
And guessing president's birthday.
It's true.
And drive-in movies. 1855, Michigan State University was founded. It seems a little late in the school year to begin classes in the middle of February. Back then it was called the Agricultural College of the State of Michigan. And had 3 buildings, 5 faculty members, and 63 male students. 15 years later, in 1870, they admitted females.
Tough night on the basketball court for them last night.
Yeah. Izzo going for the record and gets beat by Indiana at home. 1879, the first artificial ice rink in North America was opened at Madison Square Garden in New York City. I was thinking about this, 1879. How do you freeze water indoors in 1879?
Not sure.
Don't know.
February's a good time for it.
Yeah. 1909, American James Clark runs a world record marathon time of 2 hours, 46 minutes, 52 seconds. That was in New York City. A marathon in New York City in February, which seems odd, but now we're getting close to 2 hours, right?
I think the 2-hour mark was broken.
Oh, it was.
But it was I don't want to take anything away from the person who broke the 2-hour marathon record. It wasn't in a competitive marathon. It was a marathon designed to break the 2-hour mark. Like there were different runners like setting paces, and the runner who was breaking the 2-hour mark was like chasing them. And it was, still an incredible accomplishment.
I would say so. I don't think I could do it.
How far could you get in 2 hours?
In 2 hours?
How far could you get?
I could
5
get
miles.
No, I'd get 10.
5 miles?
Yeah.
I could get a solid 3.
Beam, you walk 3.5 miles an hour.
I was about to say.
Be able to walk 7 just at a normal pace.
I had to stop and take a break.
1914, on the 105th anniversary of his birth, the soon-to-be constructed Lincoln Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C. 1924, Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin
Banger.
was performed for the first time. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Either one of you?
Yeah, learned about it in music class.
All right.
George was hitting those notes.
Yeah, he
I brushed
was.
my teeth to that song.
On this date, in 1937, the city of Cleveland was granted an NFL franchise. It would be named the Rams. They would win the NFL championship in 1945, and then they celebrated the title by moving to Los Angeles for the 46th season. The Lincoln Memorial design on the U.S. penny goes into circulation on this date in 1959. It replaced the sheaves of wheat design. Have you ever seen a wheat penny?
No.
They're worth some money these days. 1989, the great Gretzky set 2 NHL records in one night. He recorded his 45th career hat trick and his 10th 40-goal season. I think we've had one 40-goal season all time in Columbus. Rick Nash had 41 one season. 1993, the movie Groundhog Day, starring Bill Murray and Andy McDowell, opened in theaters across the U.S.
This is pitiful. 1,000 people freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat. What a hype. Groundhog Day used to mean something in this town. They used to pull the hog out and they used to eat it. You're hypocrites, all of you. You know, you want a prediction about the weather, you're asking the wrong Phil. I'll give you a winter prediction. It's going to be cold, it's going to be gray, and it's going to last you for the rest of your life.
1998, the Dallas Cowboys hired Chan Gailey as their 4th head coach, replacing Barry Switzer. February 12, 1999, the 5-week impeachment trial of Bill Clinton came to an end. The Senate voted to acquit the president on perjury and obstruction of justice. More than 3 years earlier, Clinton began an affair with 21-year-old intern Monica Lewinsky. Over the course of 18 months, the president and Lewinsky had nearly a dozen sexual encounters.
He said he didn't.
I was about to say, did
He didn't call it sex.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Relations.
Relations. I don't know what was on her dress. 2012, Adele's Rolling in the Deep wins Song of the Year at the Grammys. 5 years later.
Get yourself together.
5 years later, in 2017, Adele's Hello wins Best Song at the Grammys. February 12th, big day for Adele. 2023, a mere 2 years ago today, Super Bowl 57 in Glendale, Arizona. The Chiefs beat the Eagles 38-35.
Mahomes in trouble, gets away. Mahomes racing with the bad ankle and all. Inside the 20, and he's taken down. Butker up, got it. Here we go. Hurts. As all day, now some rushers come. Going to throw it as far as his arm can take it, which is well short. And the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57.
Bad footing in that game. Remember that?
Yes.
Really bad footing.
I remember Mahomes limping around on that gimpy ankle.
He was playing it up. We all saw it.
He was faking it.
He was faking it. He just wanted some sympathy.
Birthdays today. Basketball Hall of Famer Bill Russell, born in 1934, died in 2022. Michael McDonald, lead singer for the Doobie Brothers, is 73 today.
Very distinct voice.
Yeah. China Phillips of Wilson Phillips is 57.
I'm serious.
Seriously?
Never heard it.
Really?
No.
Come on.
That's a classic.
Never. Yeah.
It is?
I had nothing.
All right. Actor Josh Brolin, have you heard of him?
I have.
He's 57. Did you ever see Goonies?
Of course.
Okay.
Top 5 for me.
Just making sure, Beam.
Top 5.
Before you were born, I just wanted to make sure.
Samwise Gamgee running around in that movie.
This is Josh Brolin talking about filming Goonies.
So we did the film for 4 months. They didn't show us the ship for 4 months. They didn't want us to see it. They had security and all that. And then they opened the door finally when they wanted that organic reaction of the ship. So they blindfolded us. They backed us all in. They put us in the water and they said, this is what we're going to do. You get under the water. There was like one of those speakers in the water that was muffled. And they said, we're going to say 3, 2, 1. You lift up, turn around, and all the cameras will be on you, and you'll get an organic reaction. So we go, okay, and we go into the water, and you hear 3, 2, 1, go! And we all went up, and we turned around, and I looked at it, and I went,
There you go. I love that movie.
That's great.
By the way, especially Chunk.
One-Eyed Willie.
One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah. Chester Copperpot.
Yep. Let's see here. Former Buckeye Matt Finkus is 50 today, the big 5-0. Where was he born, boys?
Don't know.
Come on. He was born over in your neck of the woods.
Centerville.
Piqua. You're
It's in our
close.
neck with- I don't go to Piqua.
No, but it's north of you.
You're near-ish.
Near-ish.
Yeah.
50 miles, would you say?
Yeah, close to that.
It's not near.
Okay, Western Ohio. And that's what I have for you in the 12th day of February.
Good job on that, Sharky. As always, former NFL head coach is in town interviewing for the Buckeyes defensive coordinator job. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Buckeye fans, it's time for date night with Ohio State women's basketball. This Thursday, February 13th, join us at the Shot to watch the Buckeyes take on Minnesota. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets and gear up for game day at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Tri-State Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Truly, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
My name is Paul. I'm 58 years old. I lost 45 pounds thanks to the Awaken 180 program. Before Awaken 180, I was drinking Pepto out of the bottle at night to go to sleep from heartburn. I was struggling getting up and down the stairs, like tired all the time. And I didn't know that's how it wasn't supposed to be. I just accepted that's how my life is. And then one day I said, it doesn't have to be this way. I made a decision to change my life and I chose Awaken 180. And that was the best choice I ever made. I needed support. I'm a person who needed support. Awaken 180 provided that support for me. They changed my relationship with food. I changed it with their guidance. That was the whole thing. I had to change my relationship with food. And I learned how to eat. I learned healthy fats. I learned all about sugar and what it does to me. And I just learned a new way to live.
A change Paul and I both needed and we received with Awaken 180. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. It's time for the Love Your Windows sales event. If you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. So if you need 20 windows, you only pay for 10. It's the perfect way to save big while upgrading your home. And that's not all. Universal Windows Direct is offering no interest financing for 3 years. That's 36 months of easy payments with 0% interest. And if you already have a price from another company, Universal Windows Direct will beat it. So you know you're getting the best deal around. Call them today, 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family may not listen to you, but we will. Sundays at 11, it's The Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. You're welcome.
February is Children's Dental Health Month, so make sure you make an appointment for your child to visit an Ohio Dental Association member dentist. ODA member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education and training. On your next visit, ask if your child's dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy out there right now. Temperatures in the 20s. Heading into this afternoon, we are going to be looking at scattered showers developing. Today's high will be 39. Tonight we drop down to 31, along with on again, off again showers. Tomorrow, look for decreasing clouds, high 35. Sunny on Friday, high 34. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Mike Bennett hanging out with us throughout the rest of the week. Bobby in Guantanamo Bay. I actually had a chance to talk to him yesterday. Bob from down there. That'll come up here at 6:30 this morning. We've got some Buckeye stuff to go over, Michael. And honestly, I don't even be quite honest with everyone. I don't know a whole lot about this fella other than his time in Detroit and what he was with the New England Patriots. But sometimes coordinators are better than being head coaches. According to 24/7 Sports' Matt Zenitz, former Patriots assistant and Lions head coach Matt Patricia was in Columbus earlier this week on Monday to meet with Ohio State about its defensive coordinator opening. Patricia, latest name connected to Ohio State's vacant coordinator job after Jim Knowles left for Penn State. We know that story. That's fascinating to me. I mean, that's swinging pretty big. You look at Matt Patricia's long line of accomplishments, a couple of times Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots under Bill Belichick. So he's got that going for him, which is nice. Didn't have a great relationship with the city of Detroit, with the media there, with the players there. That wasn't great. But some people are built a little bit better to be coordinators, not head coaches necessarily. But Matt Patricia interviewing for the Ohio State defensive coordinator job, that's a pretty big-time swing out of Ryan Day.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting person to have interviewing. Like you said, he's got the Super Bowl pedigree. He's got an incredible resume.
I shorted one of them. He's 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Even better.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, some people are more built to be coordinators than head coaches. All I remember is he just didn't have a good rapport with the players. I don't know why. I didn't talk to guys who were on that team, so I don't know what the issue was. Maybe he was working them too hard. Maybe he just isn't super personable when it comes to having to lead a team. But we know he's a great defensive mind. So it'll be interesting to see if he ends up being the defensive coordinator, what kind of defense is he going to try to put into Ohio State, and how is that going to work with the personnel we have here?
Yeah, absolutely. And just from your perspective, too, because, you experienced this during your time at Ohio State, because the first year that you came in, it was the Luke Fickell season, and then Urban came in. Defensive scheme, defensive change, because everything we've kind of heard this offseason so far, and especially on the offense, too, like when you look at the offensive hirings this cycle, like they brought Tyler Bowen in from Virginia Tech because they wanted – a normalized run game. Brian Hartline gets re-elevated again to call the plays as the offensive coordinator. Keenan Bailey, which we talked about yesterday, the tight ends coach, also going to be co-offensive coordinator. And then you elevate Billy Fessler from not an administration position, but not a coach, one of the 10 coaches that you get on the sideline. And then you make him quarterback's coach. So the offensive identity seems to be there. Like we can kind of predict what that is. But you experience it, Mike. Defensive philosophy change, defensive scheme change. That is a lot to deal with, especially for a college player.
Yeah, but it's not as much as you'd think. It's position specific. So I felt like I had the biggest adjustment when Coach Jay came in, because he was a much more aggressive coach when it came to how he wants the D-line attacking. And our defense kind of worked around that. I'll say it funnels through your personnel. Like when we had Shazier and Darren Lee, you can do stuff with the front seven that you couldn't do without those kinds of players. And so, Coach Haycock, who was there my freshman year, and Coach Vrabel, they all kind of had the same mentality. Like you attack some, but sometimes you're reading. But Coach Jay was attacked 100 times out of 100. So, we'll see. The guys have to adjust, but that's what this offseason's for. Hopefully they get this figured out early so that they can start that adjustment.
Yeah, and spring ball, starts March 17th, so we got a little over 5 weeks to go before that gets underway. And I do think the interesting part in this whole thing is Tim Walton played here, known that, been a play caller for a long time around different places before he finally popped back here to Ohio State. And then Matt Guerrieri, which Ryan Day has been very openly adamant about, is one of the best young coaches in the business. So I don't know if the strategy is going to be go outside and listen, Ryan Day's doing his homework, right? You want to get the position coach, you want to get your coordinator spot right. I don't think anybody is faulting him for bringing a guy in for an interview that has multiple Super Bowl champions. And you go through the list when he was a defensive coordinator around the league, Matt Patricia, that is. They were always in the top 10 defense with the Patriots, like always, constantly.
And he brings that championship pedigree.
He brings a championship pedigree. Now, the fascinating part is if Matt Patricia does end up getting the job, what's the scheme going to look like? Is it going to be different? Are you using the same language that you've been using here? And then, two, you bring in a defensive coordinator. What does that mean for your defensive coaches? Are you losing more coaches? Are they going somewhere? You know that business. It's crazy, right? You want to bring in your own guys. What does that look like? You juxtapose that to a Matt Guerrieri, maybe Tim Walton, co-defensive coordinator situation where it's going to be a little bit different than what we saw under Jim Knowles. But everything will likely be way more similar because Matt Guerrieri is a Jim Knowles disciple. If there's anybody who knows Jim Knowles' playbook, it's Matt Guerrieri. Tim Walton's worked with him now for a few years here at Ohio State. So it's a little bit of a different strategy, but I'm not going to fault a guy who just won a national championship and also wants to come in here and interview someone that's won multiple Super Bowls as a coordinator. I'm not going to do that.
I think it's interesting how many guys we're getting who are coming from the NFL to college. I don't think that's normal all the time. And
it's usually the opposite.
And so to see guys who are, had a lot of success, not a little bit of success, but a lot of success in the NFL coming back to college. And like you mentioned, in the NFL, usually when a new defensive coordinator takes over, they're cleaning house. They're bringing their guys in. They want people who are going to uphold their system and, not have to butt heads with people. I don't think that's really the case when you walk into Ohio State. Ohio State has its defensive position coaches who have proved themselves and who have a good reputation. So, we'll see. Yeah, I just find it
fascinating that Ryan Day's going the NFL route. Joe Cullen as well was rumored to be part of the gig. I don't know if he's done an interview with him or not, but yeah, Ryan Day interviewing a lot of different folks. So we want to make sure that you get this right, which I'm totally here for. And I know that you are as well, especially the way that you loved the way this defense performed this year.
It was beautiful. It was sad to see Jim Knowles go. It's been, over the last 2 years, it's been some of the best Ohio State defense I've ever seen. So, hopefully we can, even if it's a different type of defense, hopefully that mentality sticks around. Hopefully those players have passed down that culture and the coaches can get a feel for it. But it was an electric defense.
That was great. Just point of attack all the time. And to your point, when you guys had like a Darren Lee, Ryan Shazier, you also have Caleb Downs back there still, which that guy can change a game. We know, we've seen that, and makes coach's job a lot easier when you got number 2 flying around.
Who can clean up everything. Yeah, and he does it. One of the best things I like about Caleb Downs is, like, you would see him make a mistake or get beat or miss a tackle, and then the next play would make a just amazing play. That mental toughness is rare, to be able to bounce back that quick and then make a game-changing play. So I'm really excited for this defense. It's always tough to go from how many starters are leaving on that defense, and you get your defensive coordinator to leave. I know Ryan Day is working his tail off to make sure that defense can live up to the hype. But that's going to be a whole team effort.
It really is a wholesale unit change.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these guys decided to come back. We were talking about it at this point last year. Yep. Unfinished business. You want to beat Michigan, you want a Big Ten championships. Those didn't happen. You won a national championship. I mean, how many starters are returning for this defense? 2?
Yeah.
2 guy, 3. Sorry, because you get Sonny Styles, you get Davis and Igbinosun, and you get Caleb Downs. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 guys.
The nice part, I don't know if you'd consider that, is they should still have a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
They won the Natty, but there were things that were left undone. So a lot of times you win the national championship and then you're like, oh, okay, we've done that. Like, you still want to, but there's not that need, there's not that desire that comes from not having won a lot of trophies in your collegiate career. So I think this team will still have a chip on its shoulder, and that's kind of what spurs the defense on to greatness.
I got a chance to track down Bob at Guantanamo Bay yesterday. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Fan traffic is sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling.
Getting the cold shoulder? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Attention hockey fans, score the ultimate experience powered by Verizon.
Verizon is giving 2 lucky winners the chance to win 4 tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Ohio Stadium on March 1st. Plus 50 participants will have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just stop by a participating Columbus Verizon store by February 18th to enter.
Get your shot at this unforgettable experience. Hurry to a participating Columbus Verizon store today to enter.
Must be legal U.S. resident of Ohio, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit 971thefan.com/Verizon.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up 1 hour away from right now, Steve Hellwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program, talk a little Buckeye defensive coordinator search with him. Yesterday, I had the opportunity, as we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, and check in with the host of this show, Bobby Carpenter in Guantanamo Bay. Bob, great to talk with you, buddy. How's everything going down there?
Oh, it's great, Beam. Great to talk to you. It's been fun out here. A lot of good stuff going on.
I've got a chance to enjoy it. A great watch party at the Super Bowl. And there's a group of Buckeyes here from Ohio as well, some Air Force National Guard that is down here that are all stationed out of Columbus. So they're all fired up. And it's been a good time seeing the troops and going to a place I never thought I'd be.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's fascinating to think about. And I know you and I had talked about it for the last couple of months, as long as you had this trip booked on there. How was the ferry, the arrival, kind of everything that goes on with getting down to Guantanamo Bay, which is one of the more infamous places in U.S. history?
Yeah, we'll get into a lot of the stories and everything there. Flight was good. I mean, it's a normal commercial flight that the military charter is coming down here. So it's picking up steam. It's a busy place. Like, we got a chance to do a lot of cool things. On Monday afternoon, rode around the entirety of the wall, got a chance to see all of that, and got a chance to head around and do a bunch of cool stuff. Talked with a lot of the Marines. I thought there was going to be a lot more Marines here. It's a naval base, and it's a lot of Navy, a lot of Army. They're busy, obviously, here with some of the things going on governmentally, but you can't leave the base. So the people that are here, while it is beautiful, it looks a lot, kind of reminds me a lot of like Southern California, maybe like Phoenix or Tucson. It's kind of deserty. You got the ocean. It's gorgeous, but I mean, you can't go anywhere. So there is good and bad. I mean, you're about 100 miles or so or whatever from America, but it's really tough to get back. And so the folks that have been here, some have been here for 2 weeks, some have been here for 2 years. And so they've been very appreciative of it. And it was a fun watch party. There was a couple of Chiefs fans, a lot of people, I think, just cheering against the Chiefs. People putting money on the Eagles on the money line. So they were fired up, to say the least. Some of the young Navy guys. And it was fun, man. It was a really good time.
What's it like, Bob? And I'm sure that you've talked to a lot of people down there, but I mean, you've been down there for what, 5 days now, 4 days now. What's it like, life on the island, for people, service members who have been down there for a handful of years, like you just mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, some people have their families down here, so it's interesting. They're living, they're operating. I mean, they've got a school, full school for the kids, and that's great. K through 12. They've had some softball that I went to last night, some intramurals that they're playing. I mean, people are getting after it, having a good time, really enjoying it. And, it's competitive, but it's also, fun, and they're having a good time. They just got to find, stuff to do. And I said, it's cool. Like, there's some great fishing. It was great snorkeling. Getting a chance to go out on a boat here later today and do some of that stuff. But it's great, but you can't leave and you can't do anything. And so, like I said, the food's good. I just don't know if I'm eating the same thing for 2 years, how good that would be at some point. But it's been a lot of fun. And I think the folks down here, I mean, they're positive. They've got a great attitude. And it's just been unique because of just the isolation kind of it and everything about that. And the history of this place as well. When you start looking about a base that's been here, a naval base that's been here about 125 years.
Yeah, for sure, and also critical in its development, right? I mean,
it's really our way. It's one of the big reasons. It's kind of the central point. It's our way to kind of patrol the entire Caribbean. It's kind of the stopgap there for us with that. So ships are always coming through, whether it's Coast Guard, Navy, refueling. I was talking to a Black Hawk helicopter pilot, which is crazy. He flew in from Honduras, like on a Black Hawk, over top of the ocean through the Gulf. They stopped and refueled, stayed the night in Grand Cayman, then came the rest of the way here. And it's a really strategic spot and point that I really hadn't thought of until I got down here and got a chance to talk to some of the folks.
How's the camps been? I know that you've been doing some of the camps and you guys have been teaching football and doing different stuff. How's that been from that experience? Because I know that's been a big highlight of yours these last couple that you've done.
Yeah, it's great. And whether you have, 400 kids or 40 kids or 14, like the kids come here, I'm like, I'm going to give you all the energy that I've got for as many kids we have. And so it was hot. It was on field turf and running around, my knee isn't feeling all that great, but it was fun, man.
It's 40 and rainy here, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, so that's not quite as good. And so like the guys from the Central Ohio, they call them actually beef beam. I'll get into that here, later when I get back about what all that stands for and what they do. But, the people that have been down here for a while, they came out, it was Saturday morning, kids were out there and There was some, we're doing some kids with the cheerleaders, some kids with us, not a ton of kids, but the kids that were here, I'm like, you're getting, some really great instruction here. We're going to go through this. We're going to spend some time, work on footwork, technique, skill. We had kids really ranging from about 2nd grade to 5th grade. And so it was a fun age. The young people that were my kids' age, and they love it. Their parents are super appreciative of it. And, whether they were from, Jacksonville or California or New York, I mean, they all were juiced up about the Super Bowl and juiced up to kind of work on a little football and just some general skills.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I'm sure highlighting that too is the actual game that took place. What did you think of Vic Fangio's defensive performance on Sunday? Because there were a lot of good guys, Bob, and Austin and I were talking about it a little on Monday. A lot of good guys to have really good games going into free agency for the Eagles because they were getting after old Patty the Batty over there.
Well, I mean, part of it is like they didn't really bring pressure. They just got after it up front. And when you have really good defensive tackles and you've got a double, you're going to put your offensive tackles on an island with their ends. And, Joe Tooney's a great guard, and he's a good tackle, but, it's tough. Like, that's not his position that he typically plays, and he's done it for New England this year. It was a rough night for him. It was a rough night for that whole O-line because if you're getting pressure consistently with 4, you don't have answers. And Pat Mahomes wasn't able to run around. He wasn't able to do the stuff he needed to do. I think they probably abandoned the run a little early, and that would have helped. And Philly was ultra aggressive. They came out and pushed the ball down the field, and that was going to be a concerted effort of trying to score points and force Kansas City to have to keep pace. Because as good as they've been this year, being like they haven't been this offensive juggernaut of years past. They've made timely plays and timely drives. And people can argue whether it's been aided by the officials or not, but they haven't been a team that's gone out there and put up 500 yards of offense every week. It's been their defense. And so when you get in a game like that and you're scoring the football, like it puts a lot of pressure on your offense to then keep pace, and they just weren't able to do it.
What did you make of the news that came down yesterday, Keenan Bailey promoted to co-offensive coordinator? Because we talked to Schleggs yesterday, and he was pumped for Keenan, said that dude grinds his face off, and he deserves nothing but good things coming his way. So now him and Brian Hartline, co-offensive coordinators. Yeah. And I said yesterday, it's kind of just it's a public reflection of what he has already been doing over in that building.
It is. I mean, he's had a pretty fast ascension going from helping with the wide receivers to running tight ends and now being that co-offensive coordinator. And he's probably very desirable in the realm of college football with, what he's able to do in recruiting and developing guys. I think Ryan's got an affinity for him. Him and Brian work really well together. And so that's exciting. It's a young group. It's a couple of young guys, and, they've got a pretty young offensive staff now. And so we'll see, Ryan's level of involvement. I think he wants to probably try to make sure those guys can go out and get it done on their own. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm excited for Keenan, with everything he's been able to do. I'm excited for Hart and, what he's going to be able to do. And so as they try to round out now that, the defensive side of the ball, that's going to be another interesting piece entirely.
Yeah, it is. Defensive side still pretty all quiet on the Western Front about that. Timetable, we did find out that spring ball starts March 17th at St. Patrick's Day. I'd have to think that we're going to find out at some point this week. Ryan Day alluded to it on the weekend, Bob, saying that by the end of this week, we want everything kind of ironed out. So at some point in these next few days, I'd imagine we'd get some sort of an announcement.
You would think. And that's a later start for spring ball if I'm looking at my calendar than normal. That's after, I believe, let me check the OSU's calendar. Yeah, that is after Ohio State's spring break gets back. And so they typically have done a week beforehand. But given the elongated season, I get it. So they're starting a little later. And, I know Ryan's still looking at some guys. I still think kind of the favorites in the clubhouse are, maybe an internal thing. He talked to us about consistency. And so, maybe a combination of Tim Walton and Matt Guerrieri. Larry Johnson's getting older. What does his status look like? And how many years is he going to keep coaching? But I think Ryan's exhausting a lot of options, looking around at the NFL, some guys there. But I think with the Super Bowl being done now, that they'll probably lean in, try to figure some stuff out, and then make the best decision they can moving forward.
Bobo, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. By the way, people can't see you right now. It looks like they got you in a pretty nice little high rise over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same as most military, I call them hotels. It's like a glorified dorm room with a kitchenette and everything. It's the accommodations have been great. And I walk out my room, I get a chance to see the Caribbean Sea. So I can only complain so much, Beamer.
buddy. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you on Monday, all right?
Sounds good, sir.
There he goes, Bob Carpenter, live from Guantanamo Bay. Not technically live because I recorded that yesterday, but always good to check in with him. Fascinating stuff. I'm sure he'll have more stories for us when he returns coming up on Monday. We had history in the association last night. That's coming up in Quick Hitters next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now we're watching a disabled vehicle on I-70 eastbound right near Livingston Avenue. We've got the right shoulder blocked off. Other than that, everything else moving along up to speed. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Buckeye fans, it's time for date night with Ohio State women's basketball. This Thursday, February 13th, join us at the Shot to watch the Buckeyes take on Minnesota. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets and gear up for game day at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Attention lovebirds. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Diamonds Direct has the gifts to wow your special someone. From dazzling diamonds and trending gold to vibrant gemstones, pearls, even timepieces. With hundreds of stunning styles under $1,000 and an exquisite collection of one-of-a-kind luxury pieces. Make your moment unforgettable. The best selection, value, and service are waiting for you. Make this Valentine's unforgettable with fine jewelry for every budget. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Tickets are on sale now at BuckeyeCountrySuperFest.com.
Yeah, that's how I get by. Lord, that's how I get by.
I'm Leslie from Pella, Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One thing we keep hearing here in town, Wilson, is that the cost of Pella windows actually pleasantly surprises most people.
Pleasantly surprised?
You get the Pella next level quality and looks, but we also have 5 different lines to fit most budgets.
Our customers are almost always surprised, but it's never pleasant. Is there such thing as like angrily surprised?
Price is a little high.
Oh no, they're a lot high.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Schneider Electric.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird. All right.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
Wednesday edition of the program. Mike Bennett hanging out with us here for the rest of the week.
We're rocking and rolling, man.
Time for Sharky to shine.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JustSports for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
How you doing over there, Shark? I saw you pounding your desk a little bit earlier.
I'm having issues. I had issues when I got in here this morning. A couple things went wrong in my Blue Jacket studio. And now things are going roughly for me in here. That's all right.
Did you submit a ticket?
I did not. I just texted Ben, the engineer. He comes in at 6:30.
The Bengineer.
Did you text him in all caps?
Hey, help! Help!
Let him know you weren't happy.
Exclamation points, yeah. Kevin Durant scored 34 points, and the Suns lost to Memphis last night. KD became the 8th player in NBA history to reach 30,000 points. Needs another 1,400 to pass Wilt Chamberlain for 7th place. Should do that next season. He's never going to catch LeBron, who is currently at 41,623, and that number, of course, keeps going up every game. But, you know, Kareem's at 38 plus. KD, let me think about this. He was drafted the same year as Odin. Odin was number 1, Durant second, so right? 07. So this is 18 years in. It would take him another... 4-5 years to get up to second place?
But he can do it.
He's going strong.
Can you name the other ones and the players above him, Mike? We usually do Stump the Shark. Now, Sharky just gave you a few answers on the list.
Let's see.
Of the 30K club.
I'm going to go with Kobe and Jordan.
Yep, those are 2.
You already said Bill. And you said Kareem. You said how many are you did 8?
He's Bill.
Yeah, Wilt.
Mr. Russell? You said he passed.
No, not Bill. He didn't. Wilt.
Yeah. And then Kareem and then LeBron.
Yeah.
That's what, 5?
Yep. You got 2 more.
2 more.
Recent guys. One older recent.
How about Dirk?
Dirk is on the list.
I always forget that he was consistent for a long time.
Oh, dude, he was a killer.
Because I wasn't a Mavs fan or anything, so...
That final series against the Heat was one of the best playoff performances of all time.
It was incredible. I just didn't know he had been doing that for like 15 years or whatever it was.
Nobody could stop his jump shot either. Like, I mean, the way he released it was like 9.5 feet in the air by the time that he released the ball. Yeah, impossible stop the shot to stop.
And he didn't miss. I have no idea who the next person would be. You said it kind of recent?
Yeah, I mean, in our lifetime.
Steph?
No, not Steph.
Isn't that crazy? Why is Steph?
Steph is like 27th. I just looked at that a few weeks ago.
He had a slow start, right? Like first 6 years or something?
I don't know.
Slow-ish.
I mean, now, at 27, he's going to pass a lot of guys in the next couple years, and he'll get up to about 12th. But I was surprised he wasn't higher than he is.
Last one on the list, Karl Malone.
Oh,
we don't talk about Karl Malone.
Yeah, Karl Malone.
We don't talk about Karl Malone.
Last one on the list. I think KD can get to 38. I think that he can
He's
get
got to
there.
stay healthy.
He does.
The longevity is getting a lot better though in the league. So guys are. I mean, how old is KD? Like 35, 34?
Well, he's played 18 years. If he was 19 when he came out,
36,
37.
He'll be 30.
You think
he'll be 37 in September?
You think KD's going to be putting up good numbers at 40 years old? We need to make the league harder then.
Probably not these kind of numbers, but he's going to stick around long enough to. If he doesn't do it, he'll get close to number 2.
Tell you what, though, he has a sweet basketball shot, Kevin Durant, though. It is beautiful.
It is beautiful. Nobody wants to be called a loser, especially a professional athlete. Cam Newton appeared on Travis Hunter's podcast, a pair of Heisman winners, and they talked about the pressure of being the number 1 overall pick as a quarterback. Cam said his issue in 2011, being the first overall pick by the Panthers, was that, quote, I went into a locker room of losers. There was a lot of 2-14 mentality on those guys. Those comments did not sit well with Steve Smith Sr., who was on that Carolina team before Cam got there. He tweeted, 53-man locker room -1 equals 52 losers. Wow. Breaking news to 89, which was Steve Smith's number. Michael, this sounds like Panther on Panther crime.
I'll say 2 things. One, he's kind of right. You go from a college program that I don't want to throw my Jacksonville teammates on the bus. You go from a college program where the only thing that matters is winning. Everybody's got a shared vision to win. And you go to an NFL team where they've had, for one reason or another, consecutive bad seasons. The guys are trying to get a paycheck. Something goes bad I remember one of the games where, I think Blake threw a pick six, and it was like the second quarter, and guys just dropped their head. They're like, oh, here we go again. And I was like, whoa. It blew my mind that you could give up that early in a game.
How many games did you lose in your college career?
I mean, well, freshman year we lost like 7.
Oh, that's right.
But between the last 3 years, I think we lost 2, 3, maybe 2.
Well,
no, 3.
In 12, you went undefeated. 13,
we had Michigan State.
Yep.
Clemson. I'm sure we had a regular season loss.
And then in 14,
Virginia
you had
Tech.
1 loss. Yeah, so you had 4 losses in your last 3 years.
Yeah. So,
and then how many losses did you have in year 1 in the NFL?
I mean, I think we went like 4 and 12. That was shocking. It was shocking. So I get what he's saying, but at the same time, like, Cam Newton isn't known for his maturity. So he came from, it's a transition when you come from the national championship and all these different accolades and the competition that you have at a big program in college to a really competitive environment with a whole bunch of different factors to label your teammates as losers. It's a bold move.
He does wear some nice hats, though.
He does.
Does he? Hats and scarves.
If there was one person to take umbrage with this, it would be Steve Smith.
Yeah. Don't. It was the greatest receiver in franchise history.
Maybe say that the rosters of 53 and 52 losers equal 1, but you want to make sure that Steve Smith is in that not 1 category, because that guy, as we know, was one of the more fiery, maybe most fiery characters the NFL has ever seen.
Yeah, like I would never in my life call Paul Posluszny a loser. Like, I mean, it was a grinder. You just end up on a team that doesn't win a lot of games, and
it happens.
NFL,
it's a hard league to win in.
The margins are slim. I remember there was a year in Jacksonville where we won 3 games, but 9 games that we lost was by a field goal. So like, yeah, all right, you look at that team, you're like, this is a horrible team, but all it takes is 1 or 2 plays per game going right, and we're a playoff team. And you saw that in 2017. You go from 3 games winning or 4 games winning in 2016 to almost going to the Super Bowl in 2017. It was the same team for the most part. We didn't have that many new players, that many new coaches. It just, the mentality switches, things go right for you, guys don't get hurt. So, yeah, I mean, it's bold for him to just, I don't know what his North Carolina team looked like, but yeah, man, you got a whole bunch of teammates that you just called losers because you were good in college.
Probably not going to sit well in the group chat, I would have to imagine. We'll do one more here, Sharky.
All right, the Eagles have now won 2 Super Bowls in 8 years. The Cowboys haven't won one in 30 years. Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott thinks they're getting close. I feel like we've competed with the Eagles and beat them for the most part when we've played them. It's our turn. And it's on us.
Yeah, Shark, I heard that championships are won in October.
Yeah.
Like, I heard that those are the games that really matter, yeah.
I think it's Cleveland's turn. They're one of 4 teams to never make the Super Bowl.
To what you just said about Cam Newton in your first year in Jacksonville, it is a possibility that the Dallas Cowboys can win a Super Bowl.
Is it?
There are 32 teams in the NFL. All 32 teams right now have the possibility of winning it next year. With that being said, the Cowboys will not win the Super Bowl next year.
Put money on it. Like, if you know what I'm saying?
They won't win the Super Bowl.
Put
They won't do it.
$500 on it, America. See how that goes.
I am not a financial advisor. You have to say that.
I am not a financial advisor. The Cowboys are not winning a Super Bowl.
Good news for you, Sharky. You get to watch your guards on TV this year, except you're going to have to buy a stream for it. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and happy Wednesday. We are watching just one issue on I-70 eastbound right near Livingston Avenue. We've got a disabled vehicle blocking the right shoulder over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Ready to hit the road in a new car? With Pathways, enjoy up to 90 days with no payments and low auto loan rates. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Let Diamond Seller's Blue Box be a part of your forever. Join us February 21st and 22nd for Wedding Weekend and save big on wedding and anniversary bands. Plus, enjoy special no-interest financing on engagement rings. Visit Diamond Seller on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
Attention hockey fans, score the ultimate experience powered by Verizon.
Verizon is giving 2 lucky winners the chance to win 4 tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Ohio Stadium on March 1st. Plus, 50 participants will have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just stop by a participating Columbus Verizon store by February 18th to enter.
Get your shot at this unforgettable experience. Hurry to a participating Columbus Verizon store today to enter.
Must be legal U.S. resident of Ohio, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit 971thefan.com/Verizon.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life, so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
No matter where you are, Coughlin is there, in store or online. CoughlinCars.com. 13 new car brands, over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles, 16 convenient locations for sales, service, and parts, plus 4 state-of-the-art collision centers. CoughlinCars.com. Shop locally owned, CoughlinCars.com. Coughlin has the car for you.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, I've been thinking.
About what?
About how you invented a way to fix ACs for free. Get Eco.
ECO.
When customers buy a new HVAC system, we give back all the money they paid us to repair their old system.
Yeah, I know. Up to $1,500. Get Eco.
ECO.
We're basically extending the life of their old system for free.
That's right. Those extra years are free. On me.
Don't you think it would be better if we said those extra years are a plus on us?
Sure. We can say that if you want.
I think it would be better. Get Eco.
ECO.
We don't want people to forget that you have a silent partner.
Remind me, how did we become partners?
Aaron, we became partners when you let me move into your spare office, and I began giving you free advice instead of paying rent. Get Eco.
ECO.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Best deal I ever made.
I feel that way, too. Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Hoops fans, are you ready to score big and get lucky this March? What's up? It's T-Bone. I'm here to tell you that Bud Light will be holding mini hoops challenges at bars and restaurants across town over the next several weeks with one goal in mind: to send one lucky local winner to Las Vegas where they'll compete for $10,000. Take your shot at March Madness glory. This week, join Bud Light on 2 different nights. Wednesday, they'll be at Tino's on Dublin Center Drive from 7 to 9, and then on Thursday at Classics Tuttle on Tuttle Crossing Boulevard from 8 to 10. Both events will have a mini hoops basketball challenge that'll give you a shot at a Vegas trip and $10,000.
This ESPN Radio Black History Month moment is brought to you by National University.
Jackie Robinson began his career with the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947. He was the first African-American player in Major League Baseball, winner of the first Rookie of the Year award. He was named MVP 2 years later. He was elected into the Hall of Fame in 1962. In April of 1997, his number was retired permanently throughout Major League Baseball.
Built for the dreamers and doers and history makers. Start your journey at nu.edu.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. Until this season, Ohio State and Washington weren't in the same conference. Still, the Buckeyes and Huskies have met 12 times on the basketball court, but just once in the past 53 years. Now they'll meet once or twice every season after Washington joined the Big Ten. The Huskies lead the all-time series 8-4 heading into tonight's game in Columbus. Tip-off is 8:30 here on The Fan. In the NFL, as expected, the Saints have hired Kellen Moore to become their next head coach. The move came 2 days after Moore helped Philadelphia win the Super Bowl as offensive coordinator of the Eagles. At 36 years old, he becomes the youngest head coach in the league. In the NBA, the Cavaliers play one more game before the All-Star break arrives. Tonight, Cleveland visits Toronto. The Cavs are 33 games over 500. The Raptors are 20 games under. Cleveland has won 3 in a row. This Sports Center is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour 2 of the program for us on a Wednesday. Mike Bennett hanging out with us for the rest of the week. Coming up here 7:30 this morning, Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join us. Talk some Ohio State basketball and interesting happenings with the Ohio State defensive coordinator search. Matt Patricia apparently in the building in the Woody on Monday interviewing for that job. So we'll check in with Steve Helwagen a little bit later on this hour coming up at 7:30.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
Buckeye men's basketball continue their season tonight at home. Weird tip time for this one. Home game 8:30 start against Washington at 8:30. 7:30 coverage will begin for us right here on The Fan. Cavs north of the border taking on the Raptors this evening. Buckeye women's basketball come back from their LA double road trip home tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening time as well. You also get the Four Nations beginning tonight. Mike, care to break down the Four Nations for us?
So the Four Nations face-off, I've known about this for a while. I celebrate it every year. The Four Nations face-off is you get four nations in hockey, if you didn't know. NHL, we call it the National Hockey League. And they play over Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and apparently also Monday and Thursday of next week, and maybe other games. I haven't scrolled down. And they play some games, and we see which one of these four nations is going to come out on top. I'm not rooting for, but I think Canada's going to do it. I think they're fired up.
Whoa.
I think they're fired up. Recent developments might have lit a little fire under them. I think Sweden doesn't stand a chance. Finland doesn't stand a chance. Our great nation of the United States, I think, probably might be some fights on there. Like, we'll see what happens. But I think what do you call Canadians?
What do you mean, what do you call Canadians? You call them Canadians.
I thought there was a
Canucks.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was a slur, so I didn't want to just say it.
It's a name in the NHL.
Listen, I'm not up on Canadian lingo, okay? So the Canucks, I think they have a little something to them.
Okay.
We'll see what's going on.
All right, our guy Jean-Luc Grandpierre, the hyphenator who we talk to every Tuesday, is from Montreal. He is a Canadian, dual citizenship now, getting that in the U.S. last year. He actually picked America to win.
Good for him.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, probably have a hard time.
You watching
going back
tonight?
home.
You watching the first game?
Oh, yeah, no, I won't. but I'm sure you'll tell me about it tomorrow morning.
We will tell you about it tomorrow. I'll watch, so you don't have to.
Thank you.
All right, it'll be fine. So yeah, you got the Four Nations beginning tonight. Great breakdown. Mike.
Thanks.
I give you an A+ on that one. So that gets going tonight. Sharky, did you? I know we had talked about this over the course of the last few months or so. So the Cleveland Guardians, not on your Bally, not on your FanDuel, that went away. The league bought the rights to the Cleveland Guardians.
I don't know that they bought the rights. They
gained the rights.
Yeah.
They garnished the rights.
By default, I think there are 4 teams that Major League Baseball is now going to broadcast. And Minnesota Twins may be in there. I forget the 4 teams.
All the AL Central teams.
I don't know why they didn't just make the switch from Bally's to FanDuel like the Blue Jackets and the Reds and the Cavs, but they didn't.
No, they didn't. So the good news for you is that you're going to be able to purchase the Guardians' entire season. Local blackouts are gone. You can stream Guardians games for $99.99 a year. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, how many national games do you guys get a year? 10?
Yeah, it's like 155 of the 162 will be on there. So 155 games for $100.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Because the NFL is like $700 to watch their game.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, it's nuts.
They say to get all of the streaming services, all that kind of stuff, to get
every game.
To get every game is like $700 or $800 now.
Well, because you have to think about the Christmas Day Netflix games, you have Thursday Night Football on Amazon, and I know that you have Amazon Shark because you like their other stuff that they provide. The Amazon.
What is that?
They provide services. The Amazon Prime's great.
Am I missing out on something?
Free 2-day shipping.
Am I missing out on something?
If I order something today, it gets there tomorrow. Maybe it can get there today.
That's why Bezzy's taking over the world.
It's true. Will you be purchasing?
I will. What time is it? 7:06. I'm trying to think if my wife would be listening yet on her way to work.
Jan?
She's already
How many streaming services do you know about? How many of those premium channels?
About the price of cable TV. But, yeah, I'm going to have to, Beam. Come on. Now, you can go the $20 a month route, but you might as well just drop the $100. You know,
you're going to be watching every game.
I'm frugal.
I know.
I'm going to have to pay it.
What else are you going to do in retirement during the dog days of summer?
That's right. The last almost 3 months of the season, I'll be retired.
That's right. Think about that. Are you retiring during All-Star break?
When's the All-Star game this year? I don't know. I'm retiring July 11th.
I knew that.
That's my 65th birthday.
We knew the date.
I don't know. The All-Star game could be like the 14th.
So you are retiring during the All-Star game?
15th? I don't know. If it's usually the second Tuesday in July.
July 15th.
There you go.
So all of that will be on the stream. I did see, which was fascinating, they won't be doing the pregame show on the road. Did you see that?
No.
They will not be having a pregame show. The Guardians won't on the road. So they'll only be doing their pregame shows while they're up at Progressive Field.
Al Pulowski and no longer Jensen Lewis.
No, because J. Lou is now working for VEASAN out in Vegas, covering lines. So, yeah, they're only doing that for home games, which stinks for you because I know that you're watching. You're watching all that.
Maybe.
Shark, if your wife has a problem with it, I always, whenever I'm doing a purchase that's like a yearly purchase,
you use Bitcoin.
No, I don't own Bitcoin. Bitcoin, anyways?
Let's not get into that, Shark.
So this will turn quick, but just break it down by month. What is that? $8 a month, $9 a month? You can that's not that's not horrible.
Oh,
that's fair.
$9
like 60 cents a game.
That would be $54.
I don't think that's true, Shark.
Yeah, the season's 6 months long times 9 is 54.
Oh, I was going with 12 months.
Yeah,
go with 12 months.
No, the season doesn't last 12 months. I don't need the Guardians TV network in November. There are no games being shown.
You can watch old games.
I was about to say, buy some old DVDs. Get yourself a Blu-ray. Hook it up.
How many streaming services do you have?
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Listen, I've tried to downsize. As soon as I got rid of Hulu, they came out with Shogun. Had to get it back. So they do that. They have each streaming service has one good show.
They sure do.
And so then you were like, I don't want to miss out on it, and I don't pirate media yet. I know I don't. I'm a lawyer now. I can't pirate media. You heard it here first.
That'll land you in
Michael
jail,
doesn't pirate media. But yeah, you got to have, for every streaming service, there's one good show that everybody's like, oh, did you see this? Did you see this? No. And then I got to go get that streaming service again. But that's like 50% of my paycheck.
Streaming services?
Streaming services, and the other 50% is food. And then I got a moonlight to pay rent.
Grocery stores?
Yeah. No, dude, I don't go to grocery stores.
No?
No. I do Cook Unity. I don't want to.
What's that?
Free plug.
What's that?
Cook Unity.
Is it a box that they send you ingredients to?
No, I don't even cook. No, dude. They send you meals.
You don't cook?
I cook, so I can cook eggs pretty well. I can cook up a steak. But no, like they send you these chef prepared meals, and they're delicious, and it's like $75 a week for 6 meals. It's a good deal.
Chicken tinga empanadas, those look pretty solid.
Oh man, the empanadas are crazy. The burritos are crazy. They got some good chicken teriyaki, and then the other meals.
Dessert as well? No dessert.
I haven't looked at the desserts. I make my own desserts. That's what I do. I don't cook. I bake. Believe it or not.
I hate baking. I don't like measuring things.
It's so once you get, I'm sure it's the same with cooking, but once you get a hang of it, you just throw some stuff in a bowl. But the only other stuff, there's not that
Mike Bennett breaking down baking. You just throw some stuff in a bowl, throw it in the oven, forget about it for a half hour.
It works out. And then the other meals I eat is just bagels. So it works out, man.
Were you sad that Blocks is closing?
Yeah, that's an institution. My favorite places are Blocks, and then when whoever Fox's has bought them, I'm a big Fox's fan. But I went to that Blocks, I think, back in the summer, because I always used to go to the Blocks at North Market and the Blocks over in Bexley, but now they're Fox's. And luckily, the Fox's didn't change the recipes very much, so if you're jonesing for Blocks after they close, you can go to Fox's. But those are some of my favorite bagels in the city.
When I know you were in New York a couple of weeks ago, did you visit the Mecca? Did you get a New York bagel?
I didn't get a New York bagel, but I got New Jersey bagels. And I would argue that New Jersey bagels are better than New York bagels.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a bold stance, but anybody that's been over there, I think would support that.
I think we need to get you some cooking classes is what we need to do.
I know how to cook. It's not about knowing how to cook. I know how to.
Don't want to do
You
it.
just put some stuff over the heat. It's not that hard. Who wants to do 2 hours? You got to go get the ingredients.
2 hours? What
You
are
got
you
to
talking
prepare the
about?
ingredients. Then you got to eat the ingredients. Then you got to clean up. No.
The worst part about cooking is the eating experience because it takes 10 minutes to eat it after cooking. For,
After
like you said,
2 hours. No.
It's never too early to start dreaming about your favorite team winning the Super Bowl, unless you're the Cowboys. That's coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. No major crashes that we're watching right now, but seeing things pick up on 33 on the southeast side and on 23 near Circleville. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
For a limited time at Speedway, get 2 big pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce for only $5 with Speedy Rewards. Choose from classic 3-cheese, pepperoni, or extreme meat pizza. Save big with a $5 meal deal with Speedy Rewards. Only at Speedway. Valid through 3/4/25. See app for full terms.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for Affinity Whole Health. I've trusted Affinity for 7 years for their testosterone replacement therapy. Why? Because it's natural for our bodies to gradually lose testosterone over time. This leads to brain fog, fatigue, muscle loss, low sex drive, none of the things you want. If you want to feel like you did in your prime and get your energy back, better mood, higher sex drive, increase muscle mass, then get started for free at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Affinity is local. They're accessible. They ship the treatments right to your door. feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you. Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke. Well, it was a hard-fought campaign. Campaign? I'm talking about $5 at Great Lakes Kia. Great Lakes Kia, where new Kias are less than lunch. Brand new Kias, $5 a day. I'm being serious right now. Only at Great Lakes Kia. Guess what? And by the way, get 0% financing for 72 months. Lease new 25 Kia Sorrentos LX, just $5 a day. And we love that third row seating, don't we? And new K4s, LXS, just $5 a day. No joke. Even new K5s, LXS, just $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia. But what about credit? Come on, man. If you've got a job, you ride $5 a day. Here's the deal. Go to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. My first home was $5. Not kidding around.
Tax and tag to qualified buyers. Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, we've all been there. It starts as a nuisance, something you just put up with. It's that joint pain. It starts to hurt, impacting everything in your life, whether it's your knee, your back, your hip, your shoulder, walking, climbing stairs, even getting out of the car, moving around. It all hurts. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And I'm talking about that always there, that nagging pain, the stuff that I had when I got done playing professional football. It was in my knee. So what did I do? I went to see my friends at QC Kinetics. Their groundbreaking new treatments for arthritis pain provide long-term relief. The regenerative treatments are sweeping the nation. They're right here, right in Columbus, Ohio, under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. So here's what you want to do. Go to QCkinetics/Columbus, because I'm going to tell you this, it's not going to get better with time. You can't wish it away. They've got an office in Dublin, one in Gahanna, or give them a call at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Oh, hey, a fan show where you can be the star. Sundays at 11, it's the new Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Your calls, your tweets, your voicemails, your opinions. You can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family may not listen to you, but we will. The Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Sundays at 11 on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Black history is American history. In this Black History Month, the Ohio Education Association is celebrating the many Black Ohioans who have shaped our past and who are paving the way for a brighter future for all of us. I'm OEA President Scott DeMar, and as a high school social studies teacher, I've seen how important it is for our students to receive a full and honest education so they can become better critical thinkers. Join the Ohio Education Association in standing up for our students' freedom to learn.
How'd you like to wipe out all that credit card debt to start the new year off right? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Stop getting fleeced by the credit card companies. If you own your home, go to AFLcash.com now. Advantage First Lending can help you unlock that equity and get you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's AFLcash.com. You can pay off all your credit cards and other high-interest debt super fast. Consolidate all your bills into one low monthly payment. AFLcash.com can help you tap into your home's equity to give you some serious cash so you can go into 2025 with less stress and more confidence. Get the cash you need from Advantage First Lending now. Most homeowners don't even need an appraisal. How great is that? Get on solid financial footing. Go to AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. 844-394-CASH.
Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, a cloudy and dreary start to the day. We are tracking a disturbance that will bring in some rain heading into tonight. Today's high will be around 39. Tonight's low, 31. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a high of 35. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Hey, coming up here 7:30 this morning, Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. Search for a defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, in town earlier this week. So Steve's coming up here at 7:30. Mike, before we get into this, why don't you fire a number at us?
Just any number?
Yeah.
63.
Not 63. It's going to be 1 through 10.
Why? I mean, give me those parameters early. 8.
Caller number 8 right now. You get in. 614-821-9710. Get in. You talk to Sharky. You're going to get a family 4-pack of tickets to see the Buckeye men's hockey team take on Wisconsin this Friday night at 7 o'clock. It's also Hearts and Hockey's night. Free T-shirt to the first 500 students in attendance. Tickets are on sale through OhioStateBuckeyes.com. Caller number 8, 614-821-9710. That's the phone number. Talk to Shark. You're walking away with a family 4-pack of tickets to go see the Buckeye men's hockey team again take on Wisconsin this Friday night. I had a couple of YouTube chatters out there. You can always watch the show on YouTube if you'd like to do. Phil saying there's a spot in Hilliard called Bears Bagels. I've been to Bears Bagels. You're the bagel enthusiast. Have you made the pilgrimage over to the west side to go to Bears?
I have not. I really need to. It is genuinely kind of far. And the first time I tried to go out to Bears, and for whatever reason, it took me to some residential neighborhood.
Nice.
And I was just outside somebody's house. I'm like, I don't think this is Bears.
Excuse me, sir, madam.
I would like some bagels.
Are you cooking any bagels in here?
Yes, I do. I've heard great things about it, so I need to make my way over there, but I haven't made it yet.
It's good. Then Brian's saying you're trying to start a civil war over bagels between the New Jersey, New York situation.
This is what I've heard. I really want to try some New York bagels. We've had some bagels out in New York before, but the Jersey bagels are interesting. They're very different. It's kind of, this is going to sound stupid, but they're just bread.
Breaking news. Mike Bennett breaking down bagels.
Hey,
they're just bread.
If you're a bagel enthusiast, you should know what I mean. They're much breadier. They're a little bit chewier than your traditional bagels. Columbus bagels have their own style.
Yeah, like the Lox is like airy.
Yeah. You don't see that over there. Even Foxes are like, they're not quite the same. I feel like when you take a bite of a New Jersey bagel, it like sticks to your teeth a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the New York bagels are probably more like Fox's bagels.
Okay.
Where they're a little bit denser. But yeah, the Jersey bagels were solid, man. They were really good, but it's just a lot of bread.
Okay, that's fine. Didn't know I was here for you yelling about bagels this morning. Actually, I did.
You should have known that. You shouldn't.
I knew exactly what we were signing up for.
Yeah.
So everyone has a chance to win the Super Bowl. We know that. It's the offseason for all 32 teams. Philadelphia Eagles, your reigning Super Bowl champions. Care to take a stab, Mike, at who the best odds are to win the 2026 version of the Super Bowl?
Off the top of my head, I'll say the Philadelphia Eagles.
You are correct, sir. The Philadelphia Eagles have the best odds in repeating and winning the Super Bowl for next year. They're at 6-1 odds. Take a stab at who the next two teams following the Philadelphia Eagles are.
Going off of this last season and my screen in front of me, I'll say Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens.
You are correct. You start to look at the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs and the Eagles are both interesting for me. I think the Eagles have 18 free agents. I mean, it's a 53-man roster. They get 18 players who are going to be free agents this year. Now, they've done a really good job of putting that roster together. We know that they are fast, they are physical, they're violent, and that was displayed on Sunday evening when we got a chance to watch them demolish the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are interesting because now they're entering 2.0. They've already kind of been in 2.0, like with before when they had Tyreek Hill, when they haven't had him. They've won a couple of Super Bowls since. That's a long way to go for them to get back, especially your defense gets a year older. And it wasn't like they were putting up 50 points a game offensively, what they were doing a couple of years ago. It's a much different Chiefs team. You're getting a year out. You're getting a year older on defense. It seems like a long climb to go with the rest of the teams posturing in the AFC, because they've been the big dogs on the mountaintop for a while now. And each year that goes by, I feel like the hunger in those franchises that are competing with him only go up.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are always going to be a threat. Like, you're never going to be able to go into, not never, but it'll be a while before you go into a season where you're like, I don't think they have a chance.
Yeah.
As long as Mahomes is back there, as long as they have Kelsey, who knows how long he's going to play. He's already done as much as you really want to do as a player.
Andy Reid there still.
Yeah, so they, with their current squad, they're always going to be a threat. But I wouldn't have them as number two. I don't even know if I would put Philadelphia as the top chance to win the Super Bowl. I would, like kind of what you said, the fire should be lit for the Bills and the Ravens. And I know it is, and that wasn't enough to get them over the finish line this year. But those teams are strong teams. They've got a chip on their shoulder. They've got great fan bases. I'd probably have those as the top two. Detroit, I'd probably put over Kansas City. I'd go Buffalo, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Detroit, Kansas City. I would love for Joe Burrow to have another chance. I don't see the Bengals. I think the Bengals have a hard time getting. They got a lot of things to fix, but they've got Joe Burrow, which means they have an opportunity.
Yeah, and he fixes a lot, right?
Yeah,
but
not enough, obviously, this year.
The whole saga with T. Higgins.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that Joe Burrow was very adamant when they got to the end of the season and in the playoff run that we're going to get the T. Higgins deal done. Now, when you kick the can down the road and you get to free agency here in a couple of months, that's going to be interesting to watch. And I just, for the life of me, I can't see Mike Brown paying top dollar for a guy who they already franchise tagged and were unwilling to negotiate with before this season. Like, I can't see that happening. So he's walking out the door. I don't know what you're going to do in the draft if you're the Bengals, but you're correct. I mean, you got Jamar Chase and you have Joe Burrow, and Trey Hendrickson, by the way, is going to want a shiny new contract. He already requested the trade last year. They didn't acquiesce to that. So they still have him. They got some things to fix on the defensive side. They need to draft well. They need to hit on free agency. But yeah, you have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and they play the way that they did. Yeah, they're going to be in most games. They just can't start the season off the way that they have the last couple of years. It's burned them.
And they need some help. They need some help from the defense. And special teams, all of that. Like, you can go far with an elite quarterback, an elite receiving unit, but if you're trying to win a championship, you got to have that defense. We saw in the Super Bowl. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a heck of a QB. That D-line.
Oh, they were MVPs.
Yeah.
They should have split it 4 ways.
Yeah, the D-line was incredible. And so I don't know who's staying and who's going from that Philly D-line, but an elite D-line can nullify a great quarterback.
Both of their defensive linemen who had 2+ sacks are free agents. They picked a great,
that's a good
great
year
time
to peak.
To have a great game.
Yeah, that's a good year to peak. That's like Grady Jarrett when he had the 3 sacks on
in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it's 3 sacks on Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. He didn't leave, but he got himself a little bit of money.
Lions next up at 10-1 odds. Bills ahead of them at +750. We're really looking at the Baltimore-Buffalo situation.
Yeah.
Like, one of those teams including Cincinnati, if they can get into the playoffs. One of those teams feel like they need to crack through. Like the Bengals already did it. The Bengals did crack through the Chiefs and the Bills on that playoff run that they went off a couple of years ago when they got to the Super Bowl in 2021. It just feels like the groundswell for the Ravens and the Bills is there right now.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be this year.
Yeah.
The Ravens especially, you had Derrick Henry. I thought, I don't think he was the missing piece, but I thought like he would, especially in the playoffs, that guy brings the heat. He's really hard to deal with that late in the season when guys are battling injuries. So I thought the Ravens were going to be, I thought they would have more of a chance this year. And they look good. It's just, I think Lamar, who had an absolutely unbelievable regular season, he struggles in the playoffs for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's just going against elite defenses because I don't think he's somebody who...
It's a mental hurdle.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't put it on Lamar that the lights are too bright. He seems like somebody who's built for that.
Couple of bad picks, couple of bad turnovers.
It looked bad. And then, what was his name? Mark Andrews?
Yes.
Tough, man. That's tough.
That guy's a legend, too. Like
he's really good. He's been consistently really good, and he'll be remembered for 2 plays. And that's tough. It's tough.
That is tough. Going to the bottom of the list, Shark, care to take a stab at who has the longest odds to win the Super Bowl coming up next season?
Oh, boy. I could give you about 3 guesses. I would say 2 New York teams would be in there.
One New York team is DFL on the list.
Giants.
The Giants are dead last. They are 210 to 1 odds to win the Super Bowl.
That's good money.
That's what they get. That's what they get. That's
that
what
needs
you
to
get.
be like 1,000 to 1. Come on.
The Titans are right ahead of them at 200 to 1.
But they have the number 1 pick.
They do.
Cam Ward is going to lead them to the promised land.
He could. That's a possibility.
Beam.
It's a possibility.
Say it.
They're not winning the Super Bowl?
Thank you.
Okay. There's only like 6 teams I feel confident in saying can win the Super Bowl.
Where are the Browns?
The Cleveland Browns. You want to take a guess? At the odds?
Oh, at the odds? 150 to 1.
Close. They actually have a little bit better odds than that, Shark. They're 140 to 1, tied with the Carolina Panthers and New England Patriots at 140 to 1.
Patriots have Mike Vrabel now.
They have Mike Vrabel and Drake May.
Yes, they do.
So they've got that going for them, which is good. Your other AFC North team, Steelers.
So are we 3rd to worst, 4th to worst?
You are tied for 4th to worst odds. Tied for 4th to worst. The other New York team you were talking about, 120 to 1 for the Jets. And then your other AFC North team, which has a lot of smoke around it right now about Aaron Rodgers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 65 to 1.
Whoa.
They need to fix their offense.
You saying Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers?
He's the odds-on favorite to land in Pittsburgh.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No,
that's
way.
what. Yeah, that's where
Come
he's.
on really to Cleveland, Justin. Come.
They really don't. They haven't trusted Justin's growth yet.
They said in the beginning of the offseason that they were going to go with either Russell or Justin, and now apparently they're. We'll see what happens at the beginning of March when all this goes down.
Into a locker room.
That's just
Aaron Rodgers is.
That's another Band-Aid. What are they doing?
I don't know. Well, it hasn't happened yet. I'm just talking in odds of Aaron Rodgers moving there. The Steelers are the highest odds on the list for him to go there. But I'm with you. I mean, at best, he's a bridge guy. He's not giving you 5 more years.
No, and I think the Steelers have a culture and a personality that just does not fit Aaron Rodgers.
Steve Hellwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program. We'll talk a little Matt Patricia interview and what else is going on with the Buckeyes with him coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. Still no crashes on the map, but seeing things pick up on 33 on the southeast side and on I-71 as you make your way into downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I'm in a slump. My energy took a nosedive out of nowhere, and I just don't have the motivation to get things done.
You're over 40. Could be lower testosterone. Have you tried Nugenix Total T?
Nugenix, the testosterone booster on TV?
That's right. Look, I felt the same plunge in my energy after I turned 40, so I tried out Nugenix to see if it would help me.
Did Nugenix make a difference for you?
Night and day. My stamina's way up now. I'm building lean muscle at the gym. I'm totally back on my game. And you could be too. Just send a text to Nugenix. They'll send you a complimentary bottle so you can try it for yourself.
Text ROCK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321-321. That's ROCK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Attention hockey fans, score the ultimate experience powered by Verizon.
Verizon is giving 2 lucky winners the chance to win 4 tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Ohio Stadium on March 1st. Plus 50 participants will have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just stop by a participating Columbus Verizon store by February 18th to enter.
Get your shot at this unforgettable experience. Hurry to a participating Columbus Verizon store today to enter.
Must be legal U.S. resident of Ohio, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit 971thefan.com/Verizon.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
A radio show hosted by 2 former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
1 hour away from right now, Jeff Risdon of LionsWire and DraftWire. He's going to join the program. He'll have a unique perspective on the Matt Patricia situation. Not really situation, just interviewing here at the Woody. So that's coming up 1 hour away from right now at 8:30. Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our guy of Bucknuts. He is Steve Hellwagen. Steve, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. How surprised were you that Matt Patricia was getting an interview here in Buckeye Land, Steve, reportedly on Monday from you guys?
Yeah, it is very interesting that came up, and you look at Matt Patricia's track record, and he certainly did a decent job as the defensive coordinator with the New England Patriots for about 6 or 7 years there, and earned a chance to become a head coach at the NFL level with the Detroit Lions. That did not go as well, obviously, only 3 years, and he was out. And then kind of bounced around a couple of places as a consultant and different things here in recent years, and probably hasn't needed to hold a full-time job, but, with the money from that contract. But, perhaps he's looking to get back into an everyday type role, and certainly Ohio State's defense, would be an interesting place for him to be. He hasn't coached college football in over 20 years, and he's never been a full-time assistant coach. He was a grad assistant the last time he was at the college level. So it would be, it'd be a culture shock for him to come in and working with 18 to 22-year-old kids probably, and to kind of assimilate into that college background and have to do recruiting and all these other things that go with it.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for joining us. We don't believe in rebuilding years at Ohio State here, but this is about as close as it gets. What do you think? What moves do you see Ohio State making to make sure that they can transition into another successful year this year?
Yeah, that's a great point, Michael. And I think you look at it that when you graduate 14 senior starters, plus you lose Quinshon Judkins a year early, conceivably to the NFL. Josh Simmons also left school. He was injured at midseason, and he had another year of eligibility left, but he decided to head to the NFL, and people are projecting good things for him if he's healthy. So at any rate, you're losing all these talented players and really kind of the heart and soul of this team. When you're talking about Sawyer and Howard and Henderson and Agbuka and Cody Simon, I mean, the list is long and distinguished here, and so it's going to be a heavy competition, I would think, in the spring, and a lot of jobs that are open. I made a joke that Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith, the 2 top players returning, wide receiver and a safety, those guys, can grab a ball cap and sit in the golf cart and enjoy the spring for all I care, because you don't want you put them in bubble wrap and ship them to the morning of the Texas game, because that's important. You don't want to get those guys banged up this spring, but otherwise it's wide open, I think. And quarterback in particular is something people are going to be looking at. And you start a guy who's never played, really, other than a few mop-up snaps against Texas to start the season. that's a little bit daunting. So, I don't. At Ohio State, a down year's 10-2. Michael, you guys know this. So it's still getting into the playoffs. So if that's how it turns out, that's what it is.
He is Steve Hellwagen of Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Steve, if Ryan Day does go the NFL route and bringing Matt Patricia in, and again, I mean, he was just in here for an interview. No one knows if that's going to be finalized, when that's going to be finalized. I know he said this past weekend that he wants it to be done by the end of this week. So maybe we'll get some news today or by Friday at the latest. But if he does bring in Matt Patricia, fundamentally, systematically, schematically, what changes would that bring to this Buckeye defense?
Yeah, that's a really interesting thought because it's been built currently for the 4-2-5 system that Jim Knowles really liked, and that's kind of what's been the transition, I suppose, in college football, is to have that extra defensive back on the field to go against these three wide receiver sets that you see that everybody's running. So to me, that would be interesting because it's not necessarily what he would have seen full time at the NFL level. But again, I don't know. I honestly can't say. I have not studied what he did with the Patriots to say this is definitively what he would bring. I would think that he'd be able to prepare a defense to play against every offense that they're going to face, I would think. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think he's well accomplished, and people want to hold his head coaching time against him. That's fine. You can do that, but I think he is a very smart and sound defensive coach. So I think he would bring some sound principles, I think, to the Ohio State defense.
And I'll take it to the other side of the ball. We're seeing Brian Hartline step in as the offensive coordinator. Do you think we're going to see Brian trying to replicate a lot of what Chip Kelly did, or do you, based on his first opportunity as offensive coordinator, does he have his own feel, his own vibe, his own style that he'll bring to the offense?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think obviously the backbone of Ohio State's offense forever has been running the football and then throwing out of that. But when you've got a talent like Jeremiah Smith and another one like Carnell Tate, you got a pass-catching tight end with Max Clare coming in at 50 catches at Purdue. I mean, I think you've got to put those people in position to thrive. And it's going to be how much the quarterback can take as well. Julian Sayin, Tavian St. Clair, whoever it is, if they split time, however they figure it out, you got to call an offense that those guys can execute. That's the most important thing. So is it baby steps at this point? I would say it is when you're starting with new quarterbacks. But, I look at it, and Brian's had invaluable experience. The thing 2 years ago where he and Day were collaborating on it, and then this past year he and Day and Chip Kelly were collaborating on it. And, if you don't take some of the chapters out of the Chip Kelly book, then you're pretty foolish because he out-X'd and O'd, how many teams they played? 16? He out-X'd and O'd 15 of them, so we know that. He was fabulous as the coordinator, and I asked him after the Rose Bowl, I said, was that a masterpiece? What was that? And he goes, I don't know. We've got one more to go. And then he says, we've got two more to go. So he was doing the aw shucks routine. He had Oregon chasing shadows all afternoon in the Rose Bowl. That was impressive.
They were fast shadows, too. 32 shadows, pretty quick, right before halftime, Steve. Before we get you out of here, it's a big one tonight for the Buckeye men's basketball program over at the Shot. Three straight home games for them. It seems, like Thad used to say, a very critical juncture for this program right now if they want to make their first NCAA tournament here in a few years.
Yeah, I agree. It's been 2 years. Obviously, the last 2 years they haven't made it. In a 3-game homestand here, and starting with Nebraska, and then you got a ranked Michigan team coming in off a huge win last night at home over Purdue. And but I made the comment in my preview that's up on Bucknuts.com. I said Maryland was 2 steps forward, and then Nebraska was 3 steps backward. And off night for Bruce Thornton, and we don't know the status of Devin Royal, who left the game with an ankle injury. Obviously, Parrish and Mobley had outstanding games at Nebraska. They need to carry that over. And this would be 10 steps backward. If you lose to a 500 Washington team here in this game, that would not be good. So Ohio State's got to get this one tonight and then get ready for a tough one on Sunday with Michigan. And, every game matters at this point of the season. They need every win they can get. The good news is the computers love Ohio State. They played such a great schedule early on, and you have Kentucky beating Tennessee. That goes on Ohio State's card as well. So a lot of good things are happening for the Buckeyes around the country, but they got to take care of business themselves. They got to get up to 18, 19 in that range, I think, to probably qualify.
Steve, you've been covering this team for a long time too. I just don't know what to expect. Not only between games, between halves, it's almost like every 4-minute increment between media timeouts. I really have no idea what the team's going to look like.
I said the buddy of mine who covers Maryland was at the game last week. I said, well, Ohio State could win this game by 5 points, or they could lose it by 20. I mean, it could be anywhere in that range. I would say tonight it could go either way, win by 10 or lose by 10. You just don't know with this team, one game to the next. Now, Washington is a little bit road weary at this point of the season, probably been to the East Coast 2 or 3 times already. And, it's interesting the wear and tear on these teams and what it means, but they're 1-5 in road games. Their only win was last week at Minnesota. They got it out of 3-point win up there. So, we'll see what they bring to the table. They got a guy, great Osabor, 6'8", 240. He kind of channels Karl Malone a little bit. When he gets his head steamrolling to the basket, look out below. Get out of the way, because it isn't going in well for you.
Steve, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Enjoy the game tonight, buddy, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Yep, take care.
Here you go, Steve Hellwagen of Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to get Juice next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes on the map to tell you about, but watching things pick up on 33 on the southeast side and on I-71 as you make your way in from Delaware County. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU.
The perfect low-rate card for your wallet.
Apply today at bmifcu.org/Visa.
Bring the thrill of the stadium to your wallet with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the only checking account that rewards you for being a Crew fan. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Maybe your furnace isn't running so well. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater, or maybe it's just a leaky sink. Let my team take care of you the same way they take care of all my championship buddies. Check us out at CarpenterColumbus.com.
Are you feeling tired, slower, or achier than you used to? You might think it's just age, but it could be low testosterone. At Columbus Men's Clinic, they've helped thousands of men who didn't realize their symptoms were caused by declining testosterone levels, a problem that's becoming a new norm in American men. Columbus Men's Clinic refuses to accept this new normal. They're committed to restoring testosterone to healthy levels so you can feel like yourself again, whether at home, in the gym, at work, or in the bedroom. For years, their medical provider has delivered testosterone therapy tailored to each man's needs. No one-size-fits-all solutions, just real science-backed results delivered by discreet local experts. Imagine more energy, sharper focus, and newfound confidence. A same-day testosterone check and consultation is just $99. Call 614-300-7400 or visit ColumbusMen'sClinic.com today. Your prime years aren't over. They're just waiting to be unleashed. Columbus Men's Clinic. making it happen.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone. Up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Hey, coming up top of the 8 o'clock hour, I had a chance to track down Bobby at Guantanamo Bay yesterday. Going to get a chance to listen to that. That's coming up at 8 o'clock, around 15 minutes away from right now.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Michael Bennett is in studio with us throughout the remainder of the week while Bob is gone down at Gitmo. Michael, what's got you fired up today, buddy?
What's got me fired up is 3 days of doing morning juice
in the torture chamber
with my best friend since 7th grade. That's got me juiced today.
Yeah, it's better than that.
You don't sound very juiced. That's fine. I just poured my heart out on the radio.
On national radio.
He's like, yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. Anyways.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I'm excited to have you in here. It's a good time.
Still not convincing. But we'll go past it.
Yeah, and so a lot of people ask, like, oh my God, how did you guys become friends? Grew up. Same neighborhood, not in the same neighborhood, but same school
city,
district.
Yeah.
Biggest kids on the wrestling team, wrestling partners, and then from there on, it was just.
Yeah, I say it a little different. I say, yeah, we're the only two fat kids on the wrestling team.
True.
So
yes,
we're always buddied up.
An accurate depiction.
I got to watch Beam get beat up by the wrestling coach all the time, which was a great time.
Dude, he put me in a blender.
Literally. Have you told that story on air before?
I'm not.
Are we
Shark, have we told that story on air about Mike's fast friendship and me getting bullied by our wrestling coach?
I don't think so.
All right, so I'll never forget it. So there was this guy in Centerville. His name is Lance Wagner, and if anybody ever watched like high school wrestling, he was a heavyweight. He actually wrestled at Wayne, and then Wayne's wrestling coach moved over to Centerville, Coach Bear. He moved over from Wayne to Centerville, so one of his wrestlers followed him to Centerville, and his name is Lance Wagner. I forget which year it is, but Lance wins the state championship as a heavyweight.
Heck of a wrestler.
As a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He was pretty incredible, and I'll never I'll never forget it. Like he always picked on us too. And at this point, what was he, like 25?
He might have been younger than that. We were 7th graders.
Yeah, we were 7th graders, and he was a grown man who was a state champion as a wrestler. And so he was helping out the program. It was awesome. Like we learned a lot from him. It was good, but it was definitely trial by combat and being thrown into the fire. And the one I will never forget is coming off of winter break. We were in the wrestling room. It's 2 million degrees in there, as is custom. And we're coming off of winter break. We had a couple of days break, like in the wrestling, which was nice. I think Coach Baer gave us, or whoever the middle school coach was at the time, gave us a few days off. And it was awesome. And so we're standing there. Everybody else is like doing their own thing.
We got relegated to the corner by the bleachers.
Back corner. We're over in the back corner. And I just remember Lance talking to us like, yeah, how was your break, guys? Was it good? I'm mid-answer, Shark. And from where I'm at right now, Lance's mic, if you're watching on the chat, and out of nowhere,
7 feet away.
I'm talking, all right? I'm telling tales about what I got for Christmas and doing things X, Y, and Z and explaining to him how great this break was, and it was nice to see family, yada, 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 whatever.
You could see, I'll tell you, I was looking at him. You could see the change in his face when he was like, I don't care.
So he's thinking, I don't care about that. Mid-sentence, just looks at me and straight up like a puma attacks me, double legs me
into the bleachers,
picks me up in the air, and just throws me into the bleachers. He's like, I don't really care how you're doing. It's time to get back to work. I was stunned. I think I got a concussion. I mean, the rest of the practice, I'm wobbling around. I was scared of him at that point.
All I knew was I was happy it wasn't me. I could see the look in his eye as Beam was telling him about his nice break. I was like, okay. I think I took a step back. I could tell.
Known. I should have seen the switch in his eyes.
He hit you with it was you too. He hit you with one later where he's like, "Hey, Beam, you ready to go back to school?" And you're like, "Oh, I don't know." And then he hit you again with a double leg.
Yeah, he hated me.
Yeah, so that me and Beam bonded over just getting bullied by our 7th grade wrestling coach,
sharing traumatic experiences. So that was the start of it, and then a lot of fun time since. Sharky, what's got Schlegs fired up today?
Who wants to go live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama? I've been down there. It's delightful, but nobody does. Columbus, Ohio, there's opportunity there.
I don't want to live in Tuscaloosa, although I bet it's a lot warmer today there than it is here. It was a very, very slow sports night last night. I was really excited. You
didn't watch the dog show?
Tune into the Purdue-Michigan basketball game. Went to the Big Ten Network. Nope.
Was it on the Peacock?
Tried a couple other places. Nope and nope. It was on the Peacock.
Nice.
And I hope the Big Ten is making a ton of money from the Peacock because they sold their soul to the devil. And I guarantee you viewership is down.
Well, yeah.
Way down.
Money is up, though.
Money is up. And I guess that's what it's all about is the almighty dollar. But there wasn't anything else on, so I decided to watch a couple movies. I watched
Lord of the Rings,
about the second half of Shawshank,
okay,
for the 186th time, and then I went to IMDb just to get some background on how that movie was made and all the trivial things about it.
Have you been up there? Have you been up to Mansfield before?
Come on,
I know you're from Ashland.
That's from 15 minutes from my house.
So you've done the tour?
I haven't done the Shawshank tour.
He's just asking about that.
He made you sound like an idiot.
I've been to the Mansfield Reformatory where it was filmed, but that was as a kid. I haven't been up there since they filmed the movie. The big oak tree's gone, though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's gone.
The one with the lava rock on it?
Yep, it got struck by lightning in 2011, and it survived, but then it blew over in a windstorm a few years ago. So
that's such a comfort watch for me.
It's unbelievable.
It's great.
Just how many times you can watch that, and every time it's on.
It's good. It's as good as the last.
And then I watched 3 Billboards Outside Ebbings, Missouri. Have you seen that?
It's
I mean, that was a big award winner. Frances McDormand won Best Actress.
Trudge.
Sam Rockwell won Best Supporting Actor. It was up for Best Picture, and I had never seen it. It came out in 2017. I had never seen it. And, man, you talk about a depressing movie. Yeah. It was worth watching once. I'll never need to see it again. Kind of like watching
The Whale. That was talk about depressing movies, man.
How about Manchester by the Sea.
Trudge, then you die.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh my gosh, it's just brutal.
I've seen the clip of it.
And the acting was great, but I don't need to see it again, Beam.
I'm with you on that. That's how I feel about the Flowers of the whatever moon I'm watching.
You never get that right, and I can't think what the name.
The Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I'm still only an hour in. I don't really want to go back to it now that I've seen the first hour.
No, you need to come on, watch the rest of it. Be depressed and never watch it again. But it's worth seeing. De Niro's great. The acting's great.
I know it is.
The story is awful.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I just don't like it.
I still haven't seen it either.
Yeah, so I'm currently watching that. We were watching the dog show last night. We're still on tape delay on it. I know Best in Show was last night, but I'll have the time to watch a full 3-hour broadcast of the dog show.
So you don't know who won?
I don't know who won. I know that someone in the YouTube chat or on Twitter is going to spoil it for me, but I've been trying to stay away from it. I don't really care. Again, it's mirrored to Super Bowl. The first 4 dogs that they picked to represent their class is terrible. I mean,
do they ever have any Danes win?
I don't know. We haven't seen the Great Dane.
What about a nice Cocker Spaniel? They're so cute.
The Cocker Spaniel, I'm not sure if that's what group that's in. Maybe in the toy group. I told you my theory on the toy group.
A little bigger than a toy.
What's your theory on the toy group?
They're rats.
Yeah. With fur.
You said that's so serious.
They are.
They yap.
Yeah, I just can't. They were going over some breed highlights.
What's your favorite group then?
And a stat. Oh, my favorite group is the working dogs. Those are the big dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the working dogs are good.
Well, they got collies in there, don't they? Those aren't very big.
Those are, I think the collie was in the non-sporting group.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
But the big dogs are the best. That's in the working dogs. But they had a stat about
a working dog is a bit like St. Bernard.
St. Bernard's a working dog. It's a mountain rescue dog.
What would a golden retriever be?
A retriever.
That's lower than.
Maybe a retriever is its own class. I don't know. I'm not up to speed on that. But anyways, a stat that they said about a dog, they're like, this dog can bark 180 times a minute. I'm like, that's a nightmare. Nobody wants a dog that's going to bark 180 times a minute.
I'd lose my mind.
I had the chance to track down Bob yesterday from Guantanamo Bay. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still no crashes to tell you about right now, but watching things pick up on 33 on the southeast side and on I-71 near downtown. Make it a great day. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Kia. Brand new Kias for less than lunch. From just $5 a day. Great cars, great people. Great Lakes Kia. Visit GreatLakesKia.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. As football winds down, college basketball is gearing up, and fans are ready to see which teams will prove they are ready to shine in March and who will be seen in San Antonio. You can get in all the action from tip-off to the final whistle at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers can bet $10 and get $100 back in bonus bets and unlock 30 days of ESPN Plus. Download the app. Sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $90 on select sets of Ford Continental tires. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer ends February 15th. See store for details.
Attention hockey fans, score the ultimate experience powered by Verizon.
Verizon is giving 2 lucky winners the chance to win 4 tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Ohio Stadium on March 1st. Plus 50 participants will have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just stop by a participating Columbus Verizon store by February 18th to enter.
Get your shot at this unforgettable experience. Hurry to a participating Columbus Verizon store today to enter.
Must be legal U.S. resident of Ohio, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit 971thefan.com/Verizon.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You'll find low prices on thousands of items. The yellow and red tags mean you'll save big on sparkling ice water, Kroger brand chips, and so much more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit hindermotorcompany.com.
For 100 years, our passionate Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
How'd you like to wipe out all that credit card debt to start the new year off right? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Stop getting fleeced by the credit card companies. If you own your home, go to AFLcash.com now. Advantage First Lending can help you unlock that equity and get you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's AFLcash.com. You can pay off all your credit cards and other high-interest debt super fast. Consolidate all your bills into one low monthly payment. AFLcash.com can help you tap into your home's equity to give you some serious cash so you can go into 2025 with less stress and more confidence. Get the cash you need from Advantage First Lending now. Most homeowners don't even need an appraisal. How great is that? Get on solid financial footing. Go to AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. 844-394-CASH.
Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com or stop in today at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway in Grove City.
Progressive knows there's so many great things about being a sports fan. Like scoring the company box seats. How great is that? Trick plays that actually work. Prevent defense when your team is winning by a lot. And even more preventative prevent defense as they're hanging on by a thread. And of course, saving money when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's pretty great. Just like trick plays that actually work.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
Complaining about sports. Not so great. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone. Up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. The Ohio State basketball team has 7 games left in the regular season. 4 of them are at home, including the next 3, beginning with tonight's game against Washington at Value City Arena. The Buckeyes are 14-10 overall, 6-7 in the Big Ten. The Huskies 12-11 and 3-9. Tip-off is 8:30 here on the Fan. Last night in the Big Ten, 20th-ranked Michigan knocked off number 7 Purdue 75-73. Indiana upset Michigan State 71-67 in East Lansing. In hockey, the Four Nations face-off begins tonight in Montreal. The U.S., Canada, Sweden, and Finland will use NHL players to compete in a round-robin tournament. The 2 teams with the best records will advance to a 1-game final. Tonight, Canada meets Sweden. Tomorrow, it's the U.S. against Finland. The Sports Center is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss with a 98% customer satisfaction rating and thousands of 5-star reviews. The choice is clear. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Hour 3 for us here on a Wednesday. Mike Bennett in studio with us throughout the rest of the week. Coming up momentarily, we'll track down Bob Carpenter from Guantanamo Bay. And then at 8:30 this morning, Jeff Risdon. He'll have a unique perspective of Matt Patricia, who just interviewed for the Buckeyes defensive coordinator coaching job a little bit earlier this week. So Jeff Risdon joins us coming up here at 8:30 this morning.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
Buckeye men's basketball in action tonight against Washington. 8:30 start time for them over at the Shot. 7:30 coverage will begin right here on the Fan. Cavs north of the border Raptors are entertaining them tonight. Then Buckeye women's basketball return to action tomorrow. Four Nations begin. Mike, you did such an elegant job in the beginning of the show with a Four Nations breakdown. You're picking Team Canada.
I'm not because I want Canada to win. I just think that Canada has, like I said, they got that fire to them. If they don't now, then when?
When will you do it?
Then when?
And it's our time to shine.
And you only got to beat 3 other teams. Come on, Canada. No, once again, I'm not rooting for them. I'm just saying.
Taking off.
Have some pride.
Taking my heart out, and I'm just putting my head into the ring.
That's it. That's what I do.
I had a chance yesterday to check in with Bobby Carpenter from Guantanamo Bay as we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Bob, great to talk to you, buddy. How's it going?
Oh, it's great, Bean. Great to talk to you. It's been fun out here. A lot of good stuff going on. I've got a chance to enjoy it. A great watch party at the Super Bowl. And there's a group of Buckeyes here from Ohio as well. Some Air Force National Guard that is down here that are all stationed out of Columbus. So they're all fired up. And it's been a good time seeing the troops and going to a place I never thought I'd be.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's fascinating to think about. And I know you and I had talked about it for the last couple of months, as long as you had this trip booked on there. How was the ferry, the arrival, kind of everything that goes on with getting down to Guantanamo Bay, which is one of the more infamous places in U.S. history?
Yeah, we'll get into a lot of the stories and everything there. Flight was good. I mean, it's a normal commercial flight that the military charter is coming down here. So it's picking up steam. It's a busy place. Like, we got a chance to do a lot of cool things on Monday afternoon, rode around the entirety of the wall, got a chance to see all of that, and got a chance to head around and do a bunch of cool stuff. Talked with a lot of the Marines. I thought there was going to be a lot more Marines here. It's a naval base, and it's a lot of Navy, a lot of Army. They're busy, obviously, here with some of the things going on governmentally, but you can't leave the base. So the people that are here, while it is beautiful, it looks a lot, kind of reminds me a lot of like Southern California, maybe like Phoenix or Tucson. It's kind of deserty. You got the ocean. It's gorgeous, but I mean, you can't go anywhere. So there is good and bad. I mean, you're about 100 miles or so or whatever from America, but it's really tough to get back. And so the folks that have been here, some have been here for 2 weeks, some have been here for 2 years, and so they've been very appreciative of it. And it was a fun watch party. There was a couple of Chiefs fans, a lot of people I think just cheering against the Chiefs. People putting money on the Eagles on the money line, so they were fired up, to say the least. Some of the young Navy guys, and it was fun, man. It was a really good time.
What's it like, Bob? And I'm sure that you've talked to a lot of people down there, but I mean, you've been down there for what, 4 days now? What's it like, life on the island, for people, service members who have been down there for a handful of years, like you just mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, some people have their families down here, so it's interesting. They're living, they're operating. I mean, they've got a school, full school for the kids, and that's great. K through 12. They had some softball that I went to last night, some intramurals that they're playing. I mean, people are getting after it, having a good time, really enjoying it. And, it's competitive, but it's also fun, and they're having a good time. They just got to find stuff to do. And I said it's cool. Like, there's some great fishing. There's great snorkeling. Getting a chance to go out on a boat here later today and do some of that stuff. But it's great, but you can't leave and you can't do anything. And so, like I said, the food's good. I just don't know if I'm eating the same thing for 2 years, how good that would be at some point. But it's been a lot of fun. And I think the folks down here, I mean, they're positive. They've got a great attitude. And it's just been unique because of just the isolation kind of it and everything about that. And the history of this place as well. When you start looking about a base that's been here, a naval base that's been here about 125 years.
Yeah, for sure, and also critical in its development, right? I mean, that
it's really our way. It's one of the big reasons. It's kind of the central point. It's our way to kind of patrol the entire Caribbean. It's kind of the stopgap there for us with that. So ships are always coming through, whether it's Coast Guard, Navy, refueling. I was talking to a Black Hawk helicopter pilot, which is crazy. He flew in from Honduras, like on a Black Hawk, over top of the ocean through the Gulf. They stopped and refueled, stayed the night in Grand Cayman, then came the rest of the way here. And it's a really strategic spot and point that I really hadn't thought of until I got down here and got a chance to talk to some of the folks.
How's the camps been? I know that you've been doing some of the camps and you guys have been teaching football and doing different stuff. How's that been from that experience? Because I know that that's been a big highlight of yours these last couple that you've done.
Yeah, it's great. And whether you have, 400 kids or 40 kids or 14, like the kids come here, I'm like, I'm going to give you all the energy that I've got for as many kids as we have. And so it was hot. It was on field turf and running around, my knee isn't feeling all that great, but it was fun, man.
It's 40 and rainy here, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, so that's not quite as good. And so like the guys from the Central High, they call them actually Beef Beam. I'll get into that here, later when I get back about what all that stands for and what they do. But, the people that have been down here for a while, they came out, it was Saturday morning, kids were out there and there was some, we're doing some kids with the cheerleaders, kids with us, not a ton of kids, but the kids that were here, I'm like, you're getting, some really great instruction here. We're going to go through this. We're going to spend some time, work on footwork, technique, skill. We had kids really ranging from about 2nd grade to 5th grade. And so it was a fun age. The young people that were my kids' age, and they love it. Their parents are super appreciative of it. And, whether they were from, Jacksonville or California or New York, I mean, they all were juiced up about the Super Bowl and juiced up to kind of work on a little football and just some general skills.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I'm sure highlighting that too is the actual game that took place. What did you think of Vic Fangio's defensive performance on Sunday? Because there were a lot of good guys, Bob, and Austin and I were talking about it a little on Monday. A lot of good guys to have really good games going into free agency for the Eagles because they were getting after old Patty the Batty over there.
Well, I mean, part of it is like they didn't really bring pressure. They just got after it up front. And when you have really good defensive tackles and you've got a double, you're going to put your offensive tackles on an island with their ends. And, Joe Tooney's a great guard and he's a good tackle, but, it's tough. Like that's not his position that he typically plays. And he's done it for New England this year. It was a rough night for him. It was a rough night for that whole line because if you're getting pressure consistently with 4, you don't have answers. And Pat Mahomes wasn't able to run around. He wasn't able to do the stuff he needed to do. I think they'd probably abandoned the run a little early, and that would have helped. And Philly was ultra aggressive. They came out and pushed the ball down the field, and that was going to be a concerted effort of trying to score points and force Kansas City to have to keep pace. Because as good as they've been this year, being like they haven't been this offensive juggernaut of years past. They've made timely plays and timely drives. And people can argue whether it's been aided by the officials or not, but they haven't been a team that's gone out there and put up 500 yards of offense every week. It's been their defense. And so when you get in a game like that and you're scoring the football, like it puts a lot of pressure on your offense to then keep pace, and they just weren't able to do it.
What did you make of the news that came down yesterday, Keenan Bailey promoted to co-offensive coordinator? Because we talked to Schleggs yesterday, and he was pumped for Keenan, said that dude grinds his face off, and he deserves nothing but good things coming his way. So now him and Brian Hartline, co-offensive coordinators. Yeah. And I said yesterday, it's kind of just it's a public reflection of what he has already been doing over in that building.
It is. I mean, he's had a pretty fast ascension going from helping with the wide receivers to running tight ends and now being that co-offensive coordinator. And he's probably very desirable in the realm of college football with, what he's able to do in recruiting and developing guys. I think Ryan's got an affinity for him. Him and Brian work really well together. And so that's exciting. It's a young group. It's a couple of young guys and, they've got a pretty young offensive staff now. And so we'll see, Ryan's level of involvement. I think he wants to probably try to make sure those guys can go out and get it done on their own. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm excited for Keenan, with everything he's been able to do. I'm excited for Hart and, what he's going to be able to do. And so as they try to round out now that, the defensive side of the ball, that's going to be another interesting piece entirely.
Yeah, it is. Defensive side still pretty all quiet on the Western Front about that. Timetable, we did find out that spring ball starts March 17th at St. Patrick's Day. I'd have to think that we're going to find out at some point this week. Ryan Day alluded to it on the weekend, Bob, saying that by the end of this week, we want everything kind of ironed out. So at some point in these next few days, I'd imagine we'd get some sort of an announcement.
You would think. And that's a later start for spring ball if I'm like looking at my calendar than normal. That's after, I believe, let me check the OSU's calendar. Yeah, that is after Ohio State's spring break gets back. And so they typically have done a week beforehand. But given the elongated season, I get it. So they're starting a little later. And, I know Ryan's still looking at some guys. I still think kind of the favorites in the clubhouse are, maybe an internal thing. He talked to us about consistency. And so, maybe a combination of Tim Wallen and Matt Guerrieri. Larry Johnson's getting older. Like, what does his status look like? And how many years is he going to keep coaching? But I think Ryan's exhausting a lot of options, looking around at the NFL, some guys there. But I think with the Super Bowl being done now, that they'll probably lean in, try to figure some stuff out, and then make the best decision they can moving forward.
Bobo, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. By the way, people can't see you right now. It looks like they got you in a pretty nice little high rise over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same as most military, I call them hotels. Like, it's like a glorified dorm room with a kitchenette and everything. It's the accommodations have been great. And I walk out my room, I get a chance to see the Caribbean Sea. So I can only complain so much, Beamer.
Buddy, appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you on Monday, all right?
Sounds good, sir.
There goes Bob Carpenter with us from Guantanamo Bay and the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We actually did have some Buckeye news to go over because an NFL candidate has emerged as a potential defensive coordinator here with Ohio State. That's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, still no crashes to tell you about, but watching things get busy on the southeast side and I-71 near downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And you've heard me talk a lot about how treating low testosterone can improve your sleep, your workouts, your energy levels, and more. But today I want to talk to you about your sex drive, because low testosterone can have a significant impact on your desire for intimacy. It can even be a factor in erectile dysfunction. And if you're in a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, a low sex drive could really be a problem. The good news is that if you're like most guys, treating your low testosterone could really change the way you feel about sex, giving you back the flame and desire that is so important when you love someone. So if you're feeling sluggish and tired, if you're not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't that great, and most of all, if your sex drive is more like a putt, make an appointment at Tri-State Men's Health and have your testosterone levels checked. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Valentine's Day is a good deal sweeter when you shop at Meijer. This week, select bagged Valentine's Day candy is buy one, get one 50% off. Fresh from Meijer chocolate dipped strawberries are just $9.99. Certified Angus beef New York strip steak is $11.99 a pound. And our floral department is overflowing with beautiful fresh Valentine's Day bouquets and flower arrangements. Count on Meijer to bring more from the heart to Valentine's Day. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store, in the Meijer app, and online at Meijer.com.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you.
Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke.
Well, it was a hard-fought campaign.
Campaign? I'm talking about $5 at Great Lakes Kia.
Great Lakes Kia, where new Kias are less than lunch.
Brand new Kias, $5 a day. I'm being serious right now.
Only at Great Lakes Kia.
Guess what? And by the way, get 0% financing for 72 months.
Lease new 25 Kia Sorrentos LX, just $5 a day. And we love that third-row seating, don't we?
And new K4s, LXS, just $5 a day. No joke.
Even new K5s, LXS, just $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
But what about credit? Come on, man.
If you've got a job, you ride $5 a day.
Here's the deal. Go to Great Lakes Kia.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com.
My first home was $5. Not kidding around.
Tax and tag to qualified buyers. Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Attention lovebirds. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Diamonds Direct has the gifts to wow your special someone. From dazzling diamonds and trending gold to vibrant gemstones, pearls, even timepieces. With hundreds of stunning styles under $1,000 and an exquisite collection of one-of-a-kind luxury pieces. Make your moment unforgettable. The best selection, value, and service are waiting for you. Make this Valentine's unforgettable with fine jewelry for every budget. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Bishop and Friends.
My wife jumped onto the couch and was bouncing. Bootsy and Beamsy and NBC sprinting around like maniacs.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Seller.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Have you ever told a friend
Oh, I'm fine.
when you really felt,
Just so overwhelmed.
or sent a text
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
when you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy out there right now. Temperatures in the 20s. Heading into this afternoon, we are going to be looking at scattered showers developing. Today's high will be 39. Tonight we drop down to 31, along with on-again, off-again showers. Tomorrow, look for decreasing clouds, high 35. Sunny on Friday, high 34. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
All right, have an update for you on the Awaken 180 front. Started December 3rd. I believe I'm 10 weeks in now. Stepped on the scale yesterday for my weekly weigh-in. Down to nearly 50 pounds down with Awaken 180. Let's put the weight aside. I've stopped snoring thanks to Awaken 180. And what does that mean? It means a happy wife. I wake up feeling great because I'm actually sleeping through the night. Got enough energy to do this show in the morning and then go home and be dad for the rest of the day. Throwing Willie around, keeping up with a toddler. If you've got one of them or you had one of them, you know how tough that can be. I know about most of the messages talk about how much weight I'm losing, but it's more about what losing the weight is making me win in every area of my life is. Still able to indulge some of the weekends. Adult beverages are still on the table. It's pretty awesome. Let them show you how easy it is and give them a call over at Awaken 180. That is 844-346-1800, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com. So the next guy who we're going to talk to coming up at 8:30 will have a unique perspective on the Matt Patricia interview with Ryan Day, apparently at the Woody on Monday. When I think of Matt Patricia, I think of the disastrous tenure in Detroit. I mean, players didn't seem to like him. The city definitely didn't like him. Happens when you lose games. And Jeff Risdon, who was a part of that media block who covered the Lions during that time that Matt Patricia, he's going to join us coming up at 8:30. So he'll have a much better perspective of this. To me, though, you look at a guy, and I know he hasn't been in the college game for a long time. He's got 3 Super Bowls, was a defense coordinator under Bill Belichick. It's a good job by Ryan Day to get that interview. Whether or not you hire the guy, that's an entirely different story. That's up to the head ball coach. That's up to Ryan Day. He makes that decision. He just won a national championship. I think that opening up this search to a guy who brings in NFL pedigree and championship pedigree, though, that can't be a bad thing, talking to him at least.
Yeah, I think about guys like Gus Bradley. I think he didn't have a really good tenure as a head coach, but he's an absolutely incredible defensive coordinator. And so Matt Patricia, you know, like I said, we'll have to talk to Jeff about what happened in Detroit and why that didn't work out for him. But you see 3 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator for an incredible team. There's always going to be a spot on a team for a guy like that, you know, and we're definitely, after losing Jim Knowles, we need a defensive coordinator who can come in and keep this defense at the same level or get better. And that's a big ask. And so I think it makes sense to interview a guy with this kind of pedigree, even if you're just picking his brain to understand what does it take to be on a team that wins multiple Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Like we won a national championship. That's incredible. I know Ryan Day's not done with that. I think he wants to win another one next year.
He openly came out and said it, right? He goes,
That's the plan.
I want to be the second head coach in Ohio State history to win 2 national championships.
And so Matt Patricia can talk to him about what it takes to keep that fire in a team, to keep that consistency. So I think it's a good interview. You know, it's an odd placement to have Matt Patricia, who's an NFL guy, just consistently come into the college level. But we're seeing that more and more, especially as you have this college game, turn more into a professional business.
We're kind of seeing it both ways, right? I mean, guys coming from the NFL back to college, and then guys ultimately going from college back to the NFL. Chip Kelly, most recent notable guy going from college to the NFL. That's because he's here, and he's also making $6 million with the Raiders. Hard to blame a guy like that. You get to go coach in Pete Carroll. You get to go live in Vegas and hang out with Mark Davis and his sweet haircut. Like, okay, that seems like a pretty good exchange there. And then you also have Jeff Hafley, who did, I guess, the opposite, where he was the head coach of Boston College, went to the NFL to become a defensive coordinator. So things kind of are going both ways. But, yeah, I do think it's fascinating that Matt Patricia, not only that he did take the interview, but that he is interviewing here. And we talked about this a little bit in the 6 o'clock hour, Mike, but scheme difference to you isn't that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal as I guess we make it out to be, running from a 4-2-5 maybe back to a 4-3. Again, I didn't watch all the Patriots tape yesterday. Not sure exactly the X's and O's that Matt Patricia would bring. It would certainly be different than if you married like a Matt Guerrieri and a Tim Walton together, because that would scream, we're still running the Knowles defense. It's just going to have our own twists on it.
So the thing with college is, defense is just like offense, all that. It's a personnel game. It's who you have. You gotta build your defense around who you have. If you're trying to, if you have a whole bunch of big DNs and you're trying to convince them to play a viper position where they're dropping into coverage and covering wheel routes, you're not going to have success. So whatever his defense is going to have to adapt to who's at Ohio State. In the pros, you get rid of guys, you bring guys in who fit your defense. It doesn't work like that in college. You have the guys you have. You might be able to get some transfer guys. You might be able to develop guys into different positions. But you've got to look at your team and say, okay, we've got some lockdown corners. We've got some safeties who can come and fill.
Caleb Downs.
Who can come downhill. We've got some D linemen who are run stoppers or D linemen who are pass. Whatever it is, you've got to build your defensive scheme around them. So it's not really what defense is Matt Patricia going to bring in. It's if he, took the job, it would be how well is he going to adapt to the players who are at Ohio State and make sure that they are a fully functioning unit.
And I know we've talked about this before, but a long list of reasons why Nick Saban was so successful. Because, he churned and burned through tons of coordinators.
Yeah.
I don't know how many there were. It was upwards of 12. I don't know if 12 ended up being the final number, like offensive and defensive coordinators both, when he was down at Alabama, ripping off national championships left and right. But it was always said about Nick Saban, like, you can bring in your own ideas and philosophies, but one thing we will not change is the terminology, is the language.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to run. Your job as a coach is to fit the players into this box that we recruit for. So I'm wondering if Ryan Day, as we get deeper and deeper and deeper into his career, with him being a first-time head coach, you're learning this on the fly. Maybe a guy would come in, you're changing the terminology. Okay, you know what? The Knowles defense, now he's gone for Penn State, but we really like the way we can recruit with this. We can attack with this. I want this to be my defense moving forward. You're going to have to be the constructor of it and fit guys into this mold. As to what your point just was, in the NFL, we know you bring in a coordinator, you run from a 3-4 to a 4-3, you're changing over personnel left and right, you're changing your scheme and your roster dramatically.
Yeah, and I think when I think about what does a coordinator bring to a team in college football, culture. So I think Matt Patricia would check that box. He understands what it takes to win. He understands what it takes to win year after year after year, especially as a coordinator. And then the second part of that is adaptability. I've been on some teams where the coordinator, we get into crunch time and the coordinator panics, doesn't send calls down, stuff like that.
Not a good character trait.
Not great. So you want your coordinator to be able to adapt to new offenses. Like you can game plan as much as you want during the week. You always know offenses are going to hold some stuff back and surprise you each game. So you have to have a coordinator who's seen enough, been around the block, and understands how to adapt to new sets by the offense, and then puts his guys in positions to be successful.
Not to say that nothing will change, whether you go with a Matt Guerrieri, Tim Walton combo, something else, or a Matt Patricia. But I would imagine that Ryan Day wants the workload on his players to be less than what it is for the coaches.
Yeah, especially in college. These guys are still learning what it means to be a football player. Like in high school, it was literally just your best athletes. Go let the athletes be athletes.
Go make a play.
Yeah, go make a. That's all it was. And then in college, it's like that to a certain extent, but you're teaching them about the game. You're teaching them about the chess match of football. You're teaching them how to react, how to set up. What does the offense's personnel tell you? All these different cues. But you don't want to make it too complicated because, we're not all physicists out there.
Not everyone's a lawyer, when they get out of playing ball.
I was not the best X's and O's guys. So, it's just, you don't want to make it too complicated. You don't want to bring something in where it's like, okay, all these guys have to learn a whole new playbook. I'm sure that they might be able to, but it's just you're putting an unnecessary load on the team.
Jeff Risdon of DraftWire and LionsWire. He'll have a unique perspective on the Matt Patricia interview, having covered him in his time in Detroit. He's going to join us coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, still no crashes on the map to tell you about, but watching things pick up on 71 near Polaris and on 33 on the southeast side. Make it a great day. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Kia. Brand new Kias for less than lunch. From just $5 a day. Great cars, great people. Great Lakes Kia. Visit GreatLakesKia.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Attention hockey fans, score the ultimate experience powered by Verizon.
Verizon is giving 2 lucky winners the chance to win 4 tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Ohio Stadium on March 1st. Plus, 50 participants will have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just stop by a participating Columbus Verizon store by February 18th to enter.
Get your shot at this unforgettable experience. Hurry to a participating Columbus Verizon store today to enter.
Must be legal U.S. resident of Ohio, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit 971thefan.com/Verizon.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
Michael Bennett hanging out with us in studio for the rest of the week. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our guy of DraftWire and LionsWire. He is Jeff Risdon. Jeff, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. We got some fascinating stuff happening here in Buckeye Land, and you would have a unique perspective on this. Matt Patricia interviewing for the defensive coordinator position here at Ohio State. Just your thoughts, because you would have a unique perspective on a Matt Patricia interview here as a potential defensive coordinator with the Buckeyes.
I will certainly try to be as objective and level-headed as I can, considering the guy completely ruined our franchise in so many ways. So many ways. I guess the best thing that I can say is he really was not equipped to handle the interpersonal communications with professionals. And maybe because, you know, the college players, as amateur as they claim to be still, they still have to, like, do some things to, you know, appease him and listen to him if they want to get playing time or, you know, move on, whatever. And I do think that having that sort of limited time frame with him probably will work a little bit better. And maybe he's learned from his disingenuous personality, which he projected. Because I'll tell you this, I knew Matt Patricia outside of, like, the Detroit Lions building. He's a good dude. Like, he's like, people will like him outside of the building, but man, inside he's just he creates something that he's not, and the disingenuousness with which he operated as the head coach and, you know, the public mouthpiece of the Detroit Lions was somewhere between embarrassing and disgusting. So yeah, it's not great. As somebody, you know, my dad is a loyal Buckeye. In fact, he has a branded prosthetic Buckeye leg. It's tough for him. He actually called me yesterday and was like, "Tell me this isn't true." I'm like, well, could be rough.
So you're saying it would be a home run hire? Is kind of what I'm catching from your drift.
I mean, I'll say this. He will deflect a lot of negative attention away from Ryan Day, from within the program and also outside the program. And if that's something that Ryan Day is looking for, he's probably found the right guy, because Matt Patricia doesn't care. And there is something that's good and kind of refreshing about that. If you've ever dealt with Brett Bielema before, he's kind of the same way. Like, he just doesn't care. And I can see Patricia being that way, especially at the college level.
Well, I'm going to switch us off of Matt Patricia. I think you covered it. I don't want to ruin your morning anymore. We've got a lot of Buckeyes going into the 2025 NFL draft. I was wondering, do you have an idea of, it's a lot of talent. Who are you seeing from this Buckeyes team who you think are going to be, let's say, top 3 of all the Buckeyes coming into this draft?
I like the running backs a lot, and I'm not sure that they're going to get drafted that high, but I love what Travion can do at the next level. He's got the power, the burst, the vision, balance through contact for a bigger guy. I love. I think he's undervalued. Look, it's a great year for running backs in the entire draft. It's going to be tough for him to stand out in that, but he's really, really good. First guy that goes, the offensive lineman. If Josh Simmons is healthy, he's got a shot to be the first tackle taken. But then you look at what Donovan Jackson, my God, like, he was perfect at left tackle. And he's probably the best guard prospect in this class. He's a guy that I can see going a lot earlier than what you're seeing him now in mock drafts, which is usually like the 20s and maybe the late teens. He could very well go in the top 10. He's got that kind of, the way that he played with the confidence and the nastiness with which he showed that he can play left tackle. Man, that helped his stock a whole lot.
What about our D tackles, Ty Hamilton and Tyleik Williams? I think they had very, very strong seasons. Tyleek's a different breed. He's big. He's got good movement, good pass rush. Ty Hamilton's got NFL pedigree with his brother in the NFL. Where do you see them falling in the draft? Or not falling, but where do you see them sitting in the draft?
Yeah, Tyleek's a guy that could go, top 50, top 40 maybe, depending on how well he tests. I think the short area agility is going to be big for him because he didn't always show that at Ohio State. Not that he was asked to, by the way. Like, that's kind of it's different when you transfer, as you well know. Going from the college to the pros, it's a different style of game. Hamilton's a guy, like late day 2, maybe early day 3, I think. He wasn't a guy that got showcased a lot, but he certainly has NFL skills, strength, and like you said, the bloodline is there. So he's a guy that I can see him creeping up, especially like apparently he's like a really bright guy. I haven't ever talked to him, but I'm interested to see how well that gets reflected in the interview process, because that is mattering more and more with NFL teams. That's one of the things that we've picked up on in the draft world lately is if you're not communicating well and if you can't sell yourself very well, it's going to hurt you. And I think that's something where he's going to do well.
He is Jeff Risdon of Lions and DraftWire with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Jeff, we say this on the show all the time. The NFL loves to overvalue quarterbacks. I'm not even saying that Will Howard would be overvalued, but it's hard to ignore what he did in the postseason and looking like the best quarterback on the best team, and his postseason performance was pretty remarkable. Where do you see Will kind of fitting into the quarterback mix in this year's class, which is loaded at the top, but then it kind of depends on team and everybody else who you're looking at, who you like as your third or maybe fourth guy?
Yeah, and he's going to be in the mix for that third or fourth guy. I think it's him and Jackson Dart from Ole Miss are going to be competing for QB3, QB4, and whether that's late in the first round, which I really don't see, but maybe like early in the second round, middle of the second round. Look, there are so many teams that need quarterbacks, and there are 2 that are considered first-round quarterbacks by the consensus. I actually don't think that Cam Ward belongs in the first round, but I know I'm different on that, and he's going to go. He could go number 1. I loved what Howard showed. The consistency of his performance was just so strong throughout and it never got too big for him. The bigger the moments got, the better he was, and that's something that NFL teams are going to like. He's got a kind of an inconsistent, spotty history going back to his days before Ohio State, where there are times where he looks fantastic, and there are times where he looks like maybe you should be backing up in the UFL. And I think that, the steadiness with which he played down the stretch, he clearly passed Jalen Milroe. I don't think there's any question about that. And he's just got so many more physical tools than guys like Tyler Shuck, who's 26 years old, and that's bad for a quarterback. The Dylan Gabriel, who's 5'11", left-handed, and probably can't throw the ball 50 yards down the field. He's going to have an advantage over those guys. So I think he's going to go day two. And again, there's so much demand for guys. Look, both New York teams need a quarterback. Cleveland needs a quarterback. The Raiders, they need two quarterbacks. The Jets actually need two quarterbacks too. Like, there's so much demand for it that I think they're going to wind up going. He and Dart are going to be. It's going to be a duel, and I think they're both going to go in like the 35 to 50 range, somewhere in there, and get chances to play right away. And if you're Will, that's all you can ask for. After what he came into this season at versus how he ended it, that would be a nice little cap for him.
Jeff, what do you see the Browns doing at number 2? Because our producer and I have gone round and round and round about what they should do at the second overall spot. He is at a Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. Depending on what goes on with the Myles Garrett trade, if that's going to go down or not, we'll leave that for a different day. But what do you see the Browns doing at number 2?
I personally would go for either Carter or Hunter. You can't go wrong with either of those. I would take Hunter myself just because, my God, he's the best cornerback in this draft, and he might be a top 5 wide receiver in this draft. You can, if you're a good coach at all, and Kevin Stefanski's 1-2 coach of the year, so he's probably a good coach. You can find ways to use that. He can also be your return man. There's so many different ways that you can deploy him. The trick is you've got to find a quarterback who's functional, a little bit more than functional in free agency. If that's Kirk Cousins, who did not look functional at all for Atlanta last year, and is, he's at the age where you don't recover from injuries. You just sort of get back to close to where you used to be at 37 years old. And I say that, I live about 5 miles from where his family home is here in Holland, Michigan. And let's just say that he's not noted for his off-season training regimen either. He's a dad bod, and he's happy about it. So there's hope for us all. But he's an interesting one. Daniel Jones is out there. None of these people get you excited is the point. So look, you cannot win without a quarterback. But their team, again, this was a team that was a playoff team a year ago with a functional quarterback. Like, if you can get Jameis Winston back and deal with the fact that he's going to throw 2 games out the window for you off the top, he does give you a lot of he's an exciting guy. He's going to make your weapons better. It's a roller coaster ride. You might not be ready for that, but the season that they got from Joe Flacco, I think can reasonably sell to fans and to the players that, hey, if we just get a guy who's not awful, we can be good. Like, we can be good quickly, because who knows what's going on with Pittsburgh? There's opportunity for upward growth right away with competent quarterback play. But you're looking at number 2. You don't expect to ever be there again. Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, whichever one the Titans don't take, or they might not take either, but I think they will. Then you're looking at, like, man, we passed on this guy, and what if he becomes something down the road? But then there's the flip side. You find a guy like Sam Darnold, washed out in New York. Took him a long time. He was fantastic for Minnesota this past year. He's another option that maybe you could look at if the Vikings don't try not to keep him. There are options out there, but you're not addressing it long term. And are you ever going to be picking number 2 again when you can get a quarterback, in the 2026 draft or 2027 draft? You're hoping not. So that's the conundrum, and that's the decision that they have to make. Do we keep patching and spackling and do it, or do we try to build a whole new freaking wall? And I don't know what they're going to do, but I personally, I'm not turning away from Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. And to be honest, I'm not even Carter's biggest fan. Like, I see some issues with him, but dang, man, he's also really, really good and can do things. Him and Myles Garrett together, if they keep Myles, wow. Like, now you've got an identity. You are very, very difficult to play against defensively with the cornerbacks that they've got, with JOK in the middle of the field, the safeties that they've got. You can be the number 1 defense in football next year. That's a pretty attractive sales pitch, too.
It always comes down to the quarterback. It's a tale as old as time. Jeff, always appreciate the time. Great stuff as always. Sorry to ruin your morning with the Matt Patricia talk at the very beginning. Have a better day. Enjoy it, buddy, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
We'll do that. Thanks, guys.
There he goes. Jeff Risdon, our guy. DraftWire, LionsWire, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, slow-moving traffic on I-71 near downtown and on 33 up in Dublin, but no crashes that we're currently watching. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for Affinity Whole Health. I've trusted Affinity for 7 years for their testosterone replacement therapy. Why? Because it's natural for our bodies to gradually lose testosterone over time. This leads to brain fog, fatigue, muscle loss, low sex drive, none of the things you want. If you want to feel like you did in your prime and get your energy back, better mood, higher sex drive, increase muscle mass, then get started for free at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Affinity is local. They're accessible. They ship the treatments right to your door. feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Attention lovebirds. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Diamonds Direct has the gifts to wow your special someone. From dazzling diamonds and trending gold to vibrant gemstones, pearls, even timepieces. With hundreds of stunning styles under $1,000 and an exquisite collection of one-of-a-kind luxury pieces. Make your moment unforgettable. The best selection, value, and service are waiting for you. Make this Valentine's unforgettable with fine jewelry for every budget. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Come in. Joe, I wasn't expecting to see you.
Why does everybody say that? I came to congratulate you. No joke.
Well, it was a hard-fought campaign.
Campaign? I'm talking about $5 at Great Lakes Kia.
Great Lakes Kia, where new Kias are less than lunch.
Brand new Kias, $5 a day. I'm being serious right now.
Only at Great Lakes Kia.
Guess what? And by the way, get 0% financing for 72 months.
Lease new 25 Kia Sorrentos LX, just $5 a day. And we love that third-row seating, don't we?
And new K4s, LXS, just $5 a day. No joke.
Even new K5s, LXS, just $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
Well, what about credit? Come on, man.
If you've got a job, you ride $5 a day.
Here's the deal. Go to Great Lakes Kia.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com.
My first home was $5. Not kidding around.
Tax and tag to qualified buyers. Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Hey, we've all been there. It starts as a nuisance, something you just put up with. It's that joint pain. It starts to hurt, impacting everything in your life, whether it's your knee, your back, your hip, your shoulder, walking, climbing stairs, even getting out of the car, moving around, it all hurts. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And I'm talking about that always there, that nagging pain, the stuff that I had when I got done playing professional football. It was in my knee. So what did I do? I went to see my friends at QC Kinetics. Their groundbreaking new treatments for arthritis pain provide long-term relief. The regenerative treatments are sweeping the nation. They're right here, right in Columbus, Ohio, under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. So here's what you want to do. Go to QCkinetics/Columbus, because I'm going to tell you this, it's not going to get better with time. You can't wish it away. They've got an office in Dublin, one in Gahanna, or give them a call at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
The Buckeyes are national champions. And you listen to it all right here on The Fan. And next year when they do it again, it'll be here on The Fan. And the year after that, well, you know the drill. Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Wrap things up here, Wednesday edition of the program. Michael Bennett hanging out with us. What do you got in store for today? You got to go to work?
I got a good 12-hour day of legal work after this.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah, we're grinding over there. It should be good, though. I think I talked to you about this. It's a lot better to be busy at work than to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah.
And so January and February have gotten pretty crazy for me. So it'll be nice. And then, try to get to bed early so I don't sleep through my alarms. Brandon, I had 5 alarms set because you've had me on a couple times, like when I was doing the 8-minute segments and I slept through. I can't do that to my guy.
Never admit that.
Hey,
openly.
This is what it is. Big man's got to sleep. So I got to set 5 alarms. This morning wasn't too bad because I did get to bed at a reasonable time, but we're going to see, like I said, I got a decent amount of work to do when I get into work. Good 10-hour, 12-hour day. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. Then you got to go home. It's your dog.
Yeah.
Take her on. How's she liking the new house? She all right with it?
She loves that backyard.
Good.
Yeah, she loves it. I took her on a walk. So
for the people who don't know, Mike has like how big is she?
She's like 110 right now.
110-pound Great Dane.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and she's getting older, so I don't take her on long walks anymore because, she'll start limping or something. It makes me nervous. But the backyard, you just let her out. She goes sniff around a little bit. Makes it easier on me, makes it easier on her. I still got to get her out for some walks, but she's loving that house.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully you don't have any house problems in store like you did earlier this week.
Yeah, knock on wood, man. That's part of the gig.
Yeah. Shark, when's the last time you've had a house problem? How long have you guys been in your condo?
Coming up on 9 years.
Nice.
And if anything goes wrong inside, it's up to you. If anything goes wrong on the outside, it's up to the association.
Okay.
So we had the house painted. We're getting the house painted this summer.
You guys redid the bathroom a couple of years ago, right?
We did 2 years ago. Yep, the master. We've pretty much renovated everything since we moved in. Got a new roof about 2 years ago.
It's big time.
That was real big time. That's nice to not have to pay for that out of your pocket.
Yes, it is.
That's the good thing about condo living. The bad thing is the association fees are really high.
Yeah, you mentioned painting the house. I remember as a kid, I think I was like 14, my parents wanted to save money on painting the outside of our house. So guess who had to do that?
Yes.
Michael had to do it.
That was me.
Yes.
That was a summer of painting that dang house.
Yep, I remember doing that too at my parents' house when I was growing up.
I forget if we were in middle school or early high school. I was not the best student in the world. Just didn't really take it that seriously. Kids, if you should be already in school, don't do it like me. Focus on your studies.
Out fine.
I turned out fine, but it was looking dicey there for a little bit. And I remember one time I got a bad grade, and I forget if it was science or English or whatever. It doesn't matter what the class is. Got a bad grade, was grounded for 6 months or so. And it was probably a really good thing to happen to me because our basement flooded in our old house that we used to live in. And my stepdad's a pretty handy guy. So we rebuilt the basement, refinished the basement like ourselves.
Nice.
So while I was grounded, I was just personal help for him in redoing our basement.
That's what kids are for, right?
It's
just
entirely.
You don't want to pay for work, just get the kids to do it.
Dude, I tell William every day he needs to get a job. Him and Theo both get a job.
Too much.
Too much.
No free lunches.
I was telling Shark the other day, like, he's going to bankrupt us by the amount of sushi that he consumes. He's already up to 1 roll. He's almost 2.
Oh, dude, rice and beans. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he likes the rice. He likes the beans. But yeah, sushi's like pound for pound his favorite thing in the entire world.
That's you guys' fault. You got him hooked on a fancy diet by 2 years old. You can start giving him caviar.
We're going to not give him sushi when we have some in front of us?
Yeah, dude, make him.
That's how you make your kids' palate. That's how you make them picky eaters. And offer them the things that are out there.
Listen, Brandon, I think I know a little bit more about being a dad.
Yeah, you do. I know Shark does. Shark's got 3 of them.
I've had a dog for 8 years, okay? So
I'm telling you, too. Harder transition to go from no responsibilities to a puppy than having a dog and then having a kid.
That's good news.
It was that first year with Theo.
I told you.
He was my mortal enemy for the first year of his life.
At 21 years old, I was like, I'm mature enough and patient enough to have children. And then I got a dog, and I was like, I got some growing to do. I gotta learn a little bit, because that dog was putting me through the ringer. Putting me through the ringer.
Blender. And Raina especially, too, because she's a big dog.
She was a big dog, and I got her from, I know you're not supposed to, I got her from the pet store. So I'm airing her business out here. She was eating poop and stuff, and I was like, all right, you only got to see that once to be like, this can't go on. This has to stop. So she was something else. You know all the stories about Raina, but she was a handful.
Coming back from summer practice for you.
Oh, my God. You have a 10-hour day, and you come back, and there's 3 poop piles on the floor. That dog. I was patient as a man can be, but then she hit 2 years old, and just out of nowhere, she's like, I'm too mature for this. Yeah, I'm fine.
I'll still bark at cars.
But that's fine. Her job is to bark and protect the house. Her job is not to poop on the floor. And so I'm glad that she gave that up.
She was really good at it, though.
She was good. She was a specialist.
Before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. Who will win the Four Nations face-off? Who are the Four Nations, Michael? You're the Four Nations expert on this show.
Yeah, I've been watching it for years. The Four Nations: Canada, Sweden, USA.
That's 3.
Finland.
Way to go.
I'm a Four Nations guy. If you got any questions, hit me up about the Four Nations. I'd be happy to talk to you about the history of it, and who is currently playing, the schedule, all of that. I'm your guy.
Who are you picking to win?
Oh, I told you, Canada is primed to win. They are poised to win the mental battle because of a lot of stuff going on, a lot of allegations out here that you can just run up in a Canadian's house and take their stuff. I think the Canadians are going to take that personally. If they don't, sorry about it. Then they need to.
I'm going with my guy, Jean-Luc. I'll pick the USA. Mike, I had so much fun with you today. What do you say we reconvene tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. if they allow us? You good with that?
That sounds like a great idea.
Everybody have an awesome day. Uncle Bo and the boys, they're up next. We are back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Wednesday to you. Still no major crashes that we're watching, but busy traffic on 71 near downtown and on 33 up on the northwest side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Getting the cold shoulder? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Attention hockey fans, score the ultimate experience powered by Verizon.
Verizon is giving 2 lucky winners the chance to win 4 tickets to the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Ohio Stadium on March 1st. Plus 50 participants will have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just stop by a participating Columbus Verizon store by February 18th to enter.
Get your shot at this unforgettable experience. Hurry to a participating Columbus Verizon store today to enter.
Must be legal U.S. resident of Ohio, age 18 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit 971thefan.com/Verizon.
Rodeo fans, saddle up for the Cinch World's Toughest Rodeo, February 15th at Nationwide Arena. Come early for autographs, pony rides, and more. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. It's the Cinch World's Toughest Rodeo.
Guys, let's talk about something real. Ever had a bad experience in the bedroom that totally threw you off? It messes with your head, your confidence, and suddenly it's all you can think about. Next thing you know, you're avoiding trying altogether because the fear of failure is just too much. That's where Columbus Men's Clinic comes in. For over a decade, their medical providers have been helping men overcome ED and providing hope even when the pills and other treatments have failed. Their proven personalized treatments have some of the highest success rates out there, with results that bring back your confidence and connection. It's important to get your ED treated now so that it doesn't get harder to treat down the road. Columbus Men's Clinic has treatments that online pharmacies only dream about. Tonight is your night for intimacy and connection. Call Columbus Men's Clinic today at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation is discreet and could be the start of something incredible. 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. And let's make tonight unforgettable. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
When you bring Pella Columbus to your home, you get local, personal attention from an award-winning window and door crew.
Yep. Our crew is full of award winners, too.
Well, that's great, Wilson.
Yeah. Jerry alone has won the hot dog eating competition 2 years straight at the company picnic.
Well, that's not really the type of award I was talking about.
Still counts as an award.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinder Motor Company.
This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
How'd you like to wipe out all that credit card debt to start the new year off right? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Stop getting fleeced by the credit card companies. If you own your home, go to AFLcash.com now. Advantage First Lending can help you unlock that equity and get you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's AFLcash.com. You can pay off all your credit cards and other high-interest debt super fast. Consolidate all your bills into one low monthly payment. AFLcash.com can help you tap into your home's equity to give you some serious cash so you can go into 2025 with less stress and more confidence. Get the cash you need from Advantage First Lending now. Most homeowners don't even need an appraisal. How great is that? Get on solid financial footing. Go to AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. 844-394-CASH.
Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to